Hey Froggy friends, Kirostyle here, welcome back to Umineko When They Cry, episode 6, Dawn of the Golden Witch. Oh, CB! Thank you so much for the bits, CB, and thank you for the stretch, Kieran. You were waiting to ambush me, weren't you? Thanks guys for coming to the stream. Congratulations, Kieran, on being first. Welcome, welcome. Hakaze, good to see you. CB, Psycho Reaper, Ki, thank you so much for coming to the stream. Sunflower, thank you so much. Who else is here? Ah! It's louder! Thank you for the bits, Kieran. Yatoshiki, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. I'm glad you're an Umineko fan. That's so exciting. I love Umineko. Glad to see more people that are into it. And Lork, good to see you too. Thank you so much for coming by. Glad you could make it. Oh, thanks guys. Yeah, good to see more Umineko fans, Yarushiki. I'm so glad more people have seen it. Thanks for the frog, CB and Ki. And thank you again for the bits, CB and Kieran. You guys are so funny, fighting over who gets first all the time. And then Kieran getting first and then Sunflower lying about it to make Psycho Reaper angry. Oh, you guys are so cute. So, we are here with Umineko episode 6, and this is going to be the ending of episode 6 as well, not including the tea party today. In the previous stream, Badler took pity on Erica and decided to give her some packing tape, enough for 3 rooms to do seals on 3 rooms. She still didn't want to use her detective's authority, presumably because Bern Castell told her not to. But it seems like Badler let down his guard, and it was all an act, and they caught him by creating some contradictions in his logic using the packing seal tape. And he is now stuck in what is called a logic error, which is a little bit hard to explain. Basically, his red truths currently don't quite match up with his story, and now Badler is trapped inside a closed room of his own making. And seems like the game is over, and Bern Castell, Lambda Delta, and Erica all left, and Beetle's trying to help Badler, but she doesn't really know what to do. So, we're getting to the conclusion of this one, and the end of this episode is a good one. And, I mean, we still have episode 7 and 8 after this, so we're not done quite yet, but we're getting to a pretty pivotal moment in the story here. Yeah, we missed you, Lork. Good to see you again. Wait, which one's Zepper again? Zepper's the blue-haired one. Yes. Ah, Zepper, what's this important announcement? Listen, Furfur. Our image song is getting released on CD. Liar. Yeah, it's a lie. We were just so bored of showing up the same way every time. We thought we'd change our style a bit. Hey BP, welcome to the stream. We're entertainers, and the stage is alive. You've got to ad-lib every now and then. Yeah, we could have done without that, damn it. Thanks for helping clear the tension, you two. Sorry, but we're still talking about what to do for the second trial. We'd like a little more time, and if possible, some quiet. Hey, Silver Evans, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. Oh, yeah, your character's Daiko, yes. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed the Fight or Flight stream. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Yeah, and thank you for your submission again. I appreciate it. Have a good lurk, Sai. Sorry, George-kun. Actually, we have a truly important announcement regarding the second trial. It's good news for some. Is it bad news for others? Those for which it's bad news have probably already figured it out. If you don't know what we're talking about, then it's good news for you. Beatrice-sama? It's nothing. 5 people were there. Only Badler was missing. Vito's expression was dark and she kept hanging her head. everyone realizes something must have happened to Badler. We'd like to announce that Badler-kun is retired before the second trial. Everyone murmured. Just what had happened? The witch's game will wait forever for him, but a pair of lovers cannot wait forever. Love is like ice cream. It's sweet and creamy, but if you don't eat it quickly, you'll lose it. Our game isn't so gracious, it'll wait for him to return. So that's what you mean by good news. Huh. Well, I'm glad we have fewer rivals now, but if you think I'll applaud someone else's misfortune, you don't know me at all. Badler-kun, the one we thought of as our greatest enemy. I won't ask why. If the demons in charge say so, then that's how it is. Then what will happen to Beatrice-sama? It seems I will no longer be qualified to participate in this trial. After all, this is a trial to test the bonds between lovers. Badler-kun isn't currently capable of doing that, so his pair is disqualified. How truly saddening. However, she is one of the participants in this three-way trial of love, so I think we should let her watch the trial as an observer. A splendid idea! She does have the right to bless the pair that does overcome the trial. Are you okay with that? Yes. I want to watch until the end, and I still believe he'll come back quickly, regain his qualifications to join in, and continue this trial with me once again. I think she has the right to be an observer. No objections here. There's no need for us to be cruel. But even so, we've lost a powerful rival. Sorry to you two, but I'd like to settle this trial right away. Ah, that's George-kun for you. I'm rooting for you the most on the inside. The coldness with which he furnishes his love makes its heat stand out all the more. At any rate, we've now gone from 3 down to 2, and the three-way deadlock has been resolved. We weren't able to fight proactively because we were afraid of a 1 against 2 situation. Now that it's 1 against 1, it's just a good clean duel. So in the end, we come to the simple conclusion that we should have just done this from the start. The 4 people stood up as though responding to some invisible summons and faced each other, glaring. Only Bito was off to the side, watching the course of the young lovers' fight in suspense. Each pair of lovers possessed an unbreakably strong bond. Then, isn't that enough? Their love is already real. There's no need to test it. So why must they fight? The winners will be bound together by a magical miracle, and the defeated will fall apart. Why have the demons promised us that we'll fall apart without a magical miracle? Why is a demon's game like this necessary? I don't understand. No, these people aren't important right now. I have to think of a trick for escaping as soon as possible, so I can save Badler-san from that closed room. I heard about Badler. It seems things have gotten quite troublesome. One-sama. I would like to save you, both as my dear sister and as a part of my full self. I will tackle the puzzle of Badler's closed room in my own way, but it is difficult. It feels almost as though an ordinary chain has been made to look like a wire puzzle. I heard from Lambda Delta. She said that the old Beatrice would definitely be able to solve this with a trick. Don't you have any ideas? That old Beatrice is our completed form after we become one. Even I am not but a part of her. I cannot solve it. In other words, no matter how much we think in our incomplete forms, we won't be able to understand. Both the older and the younger sister have no way of solving this riddle. Bito shook her head, chasing that thought from her mind. I won't give up. That closed room rapidly eats away at the heart. Unless I can save Badler-san as soon as possible, his heart will be crushed. Of course, I have no reservations towards lending my own wisdom. However, even I cannot make anything out of this closed room. If we put our heads together, I'm sure we'll find the same answer that we would if we joined together. Please don't give up and lend me your wisdom. I still cannot understand why you're willing to go so far for Badler. But I shall do as you ask. After all, it is a request made by myself. I will add my wisdom to yours. Look, Furfur, the two Beetles are thinking together. I wonder if those two can really save Badler. Oh, they can, if they have the miracle of love, that is. That's right, Zepper. They certainly can do it if they have the miracle of love on their side. Hey, Furfur, do you think they'll realize we're giving them a hint for solving that closed room? The two Beetles huddled together, and straining their minds with all they had, they searched for a plan for saving Badler. It was as though they couldn't even see the four people glaring at each other and solemnly discussing the matter of the duel. They'll realize. If they have love, they certainly will. They were the demons of love. Love is the single element, the source of all miracles. Could a miracle of love provide an answer for a closed room trick? There it is again. Without love, it cannot be seen. I get how that catchphrase works as an abstract concept, but closed room tricks are part of a genuine, ruthless mathematical puzzle, without room for fragments of affection within it. Just what kind of hints could these demons be talking about? I already have an answer. What these demons have said supports that even further. Yeah, okay, you're incredible. You always know the right answer. And you'll never tell me any of it. Going by the rule of observers until you tell me about it. It's possible you're just pretending that you know and you're lying. Yes, I believe I do prefer a bad-mouthed Miko. Very well, child of man. To me, a Miko's sarcasm and abuse is like a ceremonial dance in my honor. You really are an irritating master. Stupid Oni-chan. Why'd you make a closed room like that yourself? Think, child of man. Thinking is not only a job for the characters within the tale. As a reader, you too have the right to enjoy thinking. And I enjoy watching you as you do. I feel like this line is probably directed at us. It's telling us as the reader, you should also try solving this closed room puzzle in the meantime and see if you can come up with a satisfying answer before we reveal it. Which is part of the fun of the game, because again, there's no real gameplay in Umineko. And probably for the better. I mean, I think it'd be cool to have like branching paths and like choices and stuff, but the plot's so complicated, it wouldn't be like as easy as Ace Attorney or Danganronpa where they kind of like hold your hand through smaller little puzzles and help you piece it together. It's a little bit too hard for that. Or more abstract, I should say. I'm willing to make a bet. Your last Miko ran out of patience and ran away from you, didn't she? You are free to enjoy yourself by scolding me. You're also free to worry over the problem along with the two Betos. Unless you think the tale will not continue. Why? I'm a reader, right? Can't I just stay quiet and read? No. I want you to think. I want you, the reader, to think too. Ugh. I see, you're a pretty unpleasant author, aren't you? Of course, Ange hadn't reached the end of the manuscript she was reading. However, it would end with just a few pages more. No, it won't. We have a lot of pages more, man. How does this thing even fit on a few scraps of paper? You handwrote this? Dang. What about the rest of the tale? It should continue much further than this. There should be many more pages remaining. Those were inside a different brown envelope, which was in Hachijo's hand. With a grin on her face, Hachijo waved the thick brown envelope about. Hey Ash, welcome to the stream! Thank you so much for coming by. If you want to read more, do what I tell you. Cool. Looks like she got you, lady. Letting you read only so far for free, and then stopping when it finally gets to the good part. Amakusa couldn't stop laughing at that evil business practice. Your own views and reasoning. That's what I want. If you tell me those now, I'll hand over the rest of the manuscript. Quit mocking me. You think I'll just do whatever you say after something like this? Come on now, lady, calm down. I want to read on too, so please just chill a bit. About the rest of the manuscript, Madam Hachijo. You write about the answer to the closed room trick and the truth behind a bunch of riddles, right? Of course. However, I've written it so those who fail to think or consider won't understand. Someday your passionate readers are going to say I betrayed them. I understand that, which is why I don't go out in the open. Child of man. Hey Aru, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. Good to see you. Anyway, this is what Madam Hachijo's trying to say. First, tell me your answer. Afterwards, you can check to see if it's right. Correct, young man. It is not my intention to be mean. I ask this because I want you to truly understand the tale's conclusion. You're really enjoying this, aren't you, Amakusa? Yeah, come to think of it, you always take those TV quiz shows totally seriously, trying to win them from your couch. I guess life's many times more fun for you than it is for me. Come, please think. What miraculous trick could get Badler out of that closed room? I want to give the rest of the story especially to those. No, only to those who have thought. Amakusa is pretty handsome. And there aren't that many men in Umineko in general. Most of the characters are female. In the Witch's Cathedral. No, considering everything that's gone on in here, maybe it should be called a demon's abode. Erica, who wanted to savor the memory of her perfect victory, stood with the whole vast cathedral to herself as the flush slowly left her cheeks. Then, though she thought herself alone on the balcony, she saw a shadow. It was Lambda Delta. Oh, it's you, Lady Lambda Delta. It's not often one finds you alone in a place like this. Oh, it's you. Congratulations on your big victory. That's strange. I think I remember saying the same thing to you right here at the end of the last game. That wasn't exactly a compliment. However, Erica was in such a good mood that even those words sounded like one. I happened to hear what you said a short while back. What? I heard you've also had the experience of being toyed with as a piece on some great witch's game board, then sealed away in some awful hell. Erica had a crude, triumphant look on her face, as though she'd managed to pry into some embarrassing memory from the other's past. However, Lambda Delta didn't look in the least bit flustered, and instead gazed down from the balcony in silence. I have. I wonder how many years I was shut up in there. Maybe I should have counted them like Burn. No, it's probably best I didn't. Counting the years is what made Burn break. Are you saying that my master also fell into the hell of a logic error at some point? She did, though she wasn't the one responsible for that logic error. Because she wasn't the game master. That's right. At the time, she was still a small piece. It wasn't even self-aware yet, and it was her master, the game master, who committed the logic error. My master was also a witch's piece? Yes. That kid's master is another bad one. Though she created the game herself, partway through she lost sight of what her goal was. She ended up creating something like a broken game of backgammon, where the start and goal were connected like a donut. What do you mean she lost sight of her goal? I'm talking about a logic error. In her backgammon game, she was unable to draw up a line of logic describing how to reach the goal she desired. So the game remained broken with no goal at all. In that case, she should have quieted down and thought of an answer herself. Instead, she despicably left even the thinking to her entire piece burn. Have you heard of the infinite monkey theorem? It's a theory, no, an absurdity, arguing that if a monkey hits random letters on a typewriter for an infinite amount of time, he'll probably end up with the exact same set of letters as Hamlet by coincidence sooner or later. Wouldn't that be a horrible hell? Burn was forced to type randomly on a typewriter for an eternal period of time without even knowing the meaning of what she was doing. The Game Master was trying to get Burn to create a goal that this Game Master hadn't even thought of. Could Erika even imagine how horrible a hell that would have been? A job you could do 100 times, and a job with a 1 about 100 chance of success so you keep doing it repeatedly? Probabilistically, this might look very similar, but the difference in cruelty between them is great. When you have to do a job 100 times, you steadily approach the end, get more efficient as you become used to it, and eventually does end. However, a job that succeeds with a 1 out of 100 probability doesn't reflect the hard work of the individual in the slightest. Everything is left to luck. In the worst case scenario, even the task of flipping a coin until you get heads can last more than 100 years. How many keys are there on a typewriter? About 100, maybe. What do you think the odds are of hitting those at random and getting Hamlet? I can't even imagine. They must be unbelievably small. That's right. It's not really any different from an endless span of time. For that dizzying sort of time, that child was forced to keep pounding on that typewriter until she typed out a miracle. And that's why she's the Witch of Miracles. If she hadn't been a witch... No, if she hadn't been capable of becoming a witch, she would probably still be a black cat strapped to that typewriter for eternity. That child was blessed by a miracle, succeeding in typing out a miracle, became a witch, and returned from that hell alive. That hell was so long and harsh that her mind was completely broken. That's why she became such a mean and heartless witch. Even you would dislike your master if given the choice, right? That's not true. I'm honored to be of my master's peace. My master is a powerful persecutor. Trampling over the weak is her natural right. Because she's a human on the bully side of life. Huh. Do you know how to create a great bully? Huh? No. It's easy. Bully them horribly, even if just for a short period of time, then suddenly stop and give them power. If you do that, then no matter who it is, they'll be reborn as a mighty bully. Even if you only bully them for about 3 days, you'll get them to believe there'll still be a bullied kid for 100 million times longer than that, and they'll reign as the mightiest of bullies. What does that have to do with my master? You don't understand anything about Burn. No matter what kind of ruthless, cruel, horrible scum Burn may be, I want to be the one person who knows what she's truly like. And the same goes for me. I think that kid, as a fellow survivor from hell, is the only one who can understand what I'm truly like. It sounds like you're jealous of the relationship we have, but give it up. The hell you think you've trudged through is nothing more than a blink compared to the one we've crawled out of. This time, Erika's probably the one being mocked. The discouraged expression on her face clearly showed she couldn't accept Lambda Delta's words. If you'll pardon me for saying, I think it's the depth of the hell that's important, not the span of time spent there. Oh, you think so, Witch of Truth, Erika? I don't know what kind of hell you were in, Lady Lambda Delta, and I'm sure the time I spent in hell was nothing more than a blink compared to yours. However, I don't think the depths of my hell were any shallower than yours. In part to celebrate your victory, I'll listen to what you have to say without arguing back. From my point of view, both the hell my master fell into, which could only be escaped from with a miracle, and the hell you fell into, which I don't know about, but could be escaped from with certain willpower, were hells made to be escapable. That's pretty bold coming from you. I am the Witch of Truth. My hell is nothing more or less than the truth. When faced with the harsh reality of truth, no sort of willpower or miracle matters. I reach this place by overcoming that truth. I don't believe my power of withstanding the truth is in any way inferior to yours or my master's. So what is this power to withstand the truth? Those who don't know cannot understand. Perhaps you too couldn't become witches of truth, because you couldn't bear to look at it directly. Ugh. I'll forgive you for those impudent words. Letting them pass with a slight nod is my present to you for your recent victory. Thank you very much, great Lady Lambda Delta. Oh, that's unusual. It's rare to spot you two getting along. At some point, Burn Castell had appeared on the opposite balcony of the cathedral. Erika, noticing her, cried, "My master," happily and dashed over. Lady Lambda Delta was telling me old stories about you. A tale of miracles fitting for my master, the Witch of Miracles. I'll forgive you just this once. Huh? Never speak of my past again. A grimace rose to her face and blasted Erika's good mood away. Then, she understood. Kirostyle was also a witch running from boredom. If it caught up with her, she would remember those never-ending days of hell. This is proof that even my master still hasn't gotten over the pain and fear of hell. It means she lacks the power to withstand the truth. For the first time, Erika felt just a little disdain for her master. My apologies. More importantly, why have you come to a place like this? I was looking for you. I wanted to give you a reward. A reward? Really? Thank you very much, my master. Oh? Wow, I'm jealous. What are you gonna give her? First, I acknowledge your ascension as a true witch, not just a temporary one. I'll be your guardian, Witch of Truth, Furuto Erika. Thank you very much. All you did was remove the temporary bit. How happy can she be with a reward like that? You've gotta want something more spectacular than that, right? No, that's not true. I'm very happy already. Of course, on the inside, Erika did want another present. Mimicking Lambda Delta, she looked at her master to see if any further rewards would be coming. I do have one other. Kirostyle snapped her fingers. As she did, a cloud of gold butterflies gathered, and summoned Badler, sitting in a throne at the center of the cathedral. Of course, his eyes were blank. He was still a shell of himself, his heart trapped in the closed room that he would never be able to escape from. That man is your reward. My reward is Badler? Oh, I see. You're saying you'll make it so Erika inherits all the game board's territory. That's right. Look at Badler's finger. He's wearing the ring of the one-winged eagle, symbol of the territory lord. If that becomes yours, you'll become the official lord of his territory. I don't mean you'll be under my charge. In name and reality, this territory will be yours. So I need to take that ring off Badler's finger. Don't be stupid. There's only one ceremony where a woman gets a ring from a man's finger, right? Erika, take Badler as your husband and become the wife of the territory lord. Take Badler as my... Yeah, that's right. If the territory lord is never to wake again, he'll need a partner to serve by his side and in his place. In other words, you will control this territory. So we'll hold a wedding and exchange rings. Badler's territory lord ring will become yours. In exchange, you will put a ring of subordination on Badler's finger. You will control and humiliate him forever, and create as many tales however you like, using this territory and game board. Territory Lord Furuto Erika. Any tale you wish will come true. The territory lord is God. Congratulations, you're going to become the god of this small but wonderful world. Is that true, my master? Will I become this world's god? That is the final reward I will give to you. Take Badler's ring and create your own world. When that happens, you won't be my piece anymore. You'll be your own witch, and a splendid one at that. Congratulations, Lady Erika. And one day, you must welcome me when I come to visit, just like Vito once did. Yes, my master. There can be no greater honor. And I'm starting to like this marriage thing. If you think about it, there could be no greater disgrace. After all, that Beatrice has apparently grown a desire to serve Badler and be liked by him. In the world that witch created, I'll marry, defile, and humiliate Badler. Oh yes, I understand. I so understand how painful it feels to have the one you love stolen away from you. And now I'm finally the one dealing out the pain. Truly, there could be no greater honor. I'm glad you like it. I knew it was the one present you liked the most in the world. Thank you so much, my master. Erica leapt down from the balcony and walked briskly towards Badler. And then she peered down at the reward she'd been given. Now isn't that a wonderful finale? You'll have a wedding, right? Of course. A magnificent one. The perfect way to end Bito's game. Of course, you'll send Bito an invitation too, right? Let's hope she actually comes. Okay, things are going to get busy. We have to prepare for the ceremony, make programs and send invitations. Don't forget the wedding dress and a cake. And you need to get things ready for the reception. The two witches disappeared, cackling. Only the two witches who were to be wed remained in the cathedral. Can you hear this, Badler-san? Do you realize what's about to happen to you? Damn it. Adler's consciousness wasn't completely gone. It was very distant, but he was faintly tethered to reality. And that was what made it cruel. It was as cruel as though the spider called Erica had wrapped Badler up and was eating him while he was still conscious. No. She might have been like certain kinds of wasp. It was the cruelty of paralyzing her prey while it still lived, so that she could save him for later and eat him. In other words, her cruelty was that of a predator. You can't get out of that closed room. After all, you used all that red truth to show it was closed. So don't worry, just let yourself be trapped in there forever. Because while you do, I'll be giving your body some good, long humiliation. Let's have a mirror in our bedroom. That way you can see just how you've been humiliated with your own eyes. And let's have a bird cage hanging from the ceiling. We can stick your beloved witch Beatrice in there. What do you think? Wonderful, isn't it? Yes, I understand. This is how sweet it is to be standing on the other side. As he listened to this mad laugh, Badler couldn't even bring a distressed expression to his face. His heart was still trapped in the closed room he had created. His body and soul would soon be trapped within a new closed room of Erica's. A closed room called marriage. So remember the very beginning of episode 6, we saw like a marriage scene? That's what this was leading up to. You probably forgot about it since it's been so long. Also, again, Lambda Delta talking about Burn's past, Burn being trapped in a closed room, or no, Burn being trapped in a logic error and having to find her way out. Again, that's kind of implied to be the backstory of what happened in Higurashi. Although Burn Castell was not a character in Higurashi, there is a character in Higurashi that looks like Burn and has naming similarities to Burn to reference that. But I don't know Higurashi. I don't know if I'd be interested enough to get into it, but it is kind of interesting how these worlds are weaved together. Hey, did you hear, Furfur? I sure did, Zephyr. Lord Badler and Lady Erica are having a wedding. Their words were so similar to their usual shtick that Bito had to ask them to repeat it again. What do you mean? As you know, the territory lord of this place has his heart sealed away and cannot speak. It seems the beautiful Lady Erica is going to become his wife and support him in his work. The two demons explain the situation in a very simple yet dramatic way. I know what's going on. They're planning to take advantage of the fact that Badler's heart is sealed away, and use marriage to lock up his body as well, so they can steal everything from him. At this rate, Badler's position as Game Master and his territory lord's ring will be stolen away. That little thief thinks she can do whatever she wants. Let's steal him back. This doesn't concern me, but if it affects you, that's my business too. Just stealing his body back won't do you any good. After all, the great Lady Berncastel has already signed the marriage certificate as witness. With the great witch of the Senate serving as a witness, no one can dispel that union, unless one of the pair wills it. So as I thought, unless I can rescue Badler-san's heart from that closed room, there's no way we can save him. Then find a way to rescue him from there. You're gonna steal away the bridegroom? Ah, how wonderful! If you could do that, it would make for a tale beautiful enough for the opera. However, this closed room ceiling battler is quite difficult. The only way out is the door, and if the chain is unset, his escape will not be accepted. And on top of that, the chain can't be set from the outside. And now there's no one left to switch places with him. No matter how you look at it, we're stuck. If we give up, we won't be able to save him. The only way we can save him now is to keep thinking. Though Bito looked as though she was about to burst into tears, she clenched her fists tightly. She was so frustrated with her inability to think up any brilliant plan that her heart felt as though it would burst. Zephyr and Furfur, you two are known for being among the most powerful of demons. They say your magic can make the impossible possible. Couldn't you use your power and knowledge to work out a plan for crushing this impossible closed room? Yes, love can accomplish any impossible thing. If you can't accomplish something, it means you lack enough love. Hearing that hurts. But we're moved by the strength of will that prevents you from giving up. Because you have that, we're sure you can bring about a miracle. Can't you at least give us some sort of hint about that miracle? We've known each other for quite some time. Can't you at least give my little sister a hint as a parting gift? We are always giving out hints. Without love, they cannot be seen. Oh, yes, we can't see, which is why I'm telling you to show us. These two are always like this. You'll never get bored, but they can be quite irritating at times like this. Zephyr and Furfur certainly were demons who possessed a great power. The power of love that they bestowed had created several miracles in the past. Miracles so great they left marks on human history. However, those miracles were never given easily. They would give trials, tell riddles, and sometimes help the truth be realized, so that those who desired power could create that power themselves. No matter how pitiful the eyes that looked up at them, the two demons would never lend their power out of pity. As it is with God, so it is with demons. They help those who help themselves. I understand. I'll think about it myself. I will certainly. See, demons, look at this modern, pure-hearted girl. As the demons of love, don't your hearts stir her even just a little? Let's have a hint. Of course, you could at least give us a hint to a hint. Zephyr and Furfur looked at each other. Of course, there was no pity on their faces. However, it could be seen that, though they did find the problem amusing, they were considering what they should do next. What do we do, Furfur? Can we just give a hint to a hint? Yes, that will do nicely, so let's have it. Okay, here's a present from Zephyr and Furfur. A hint to a hint of love. Please. You can't see the answer. Because you don't have enough love. I told you not a hint like that. And if you don't have enough love, why don't you watch some lovers who are overflowing with it? Yes, unfortunately, we have two groups of lovers right here with us. Why don't we take a peek at their fight for love? You should watch over and observe our trial. I told you, not a hint like that. Beetle the Elder yelled at them, asking for a more tangible hint. However, Zephyr and Furfur just giggled and ran about like rats. However, Beetle took their hint to a hint seriously. Now that the Beetles were out of it, the second trial was between George and Shannon on one side, and Cannon and Shannon on the other. Tear apart the two who are close. In other words, defeat one of the members on the opposing team. They were allowed to use any method they wanted. It could be a duel, or it could be rock, paper, scissors. The four of them had alternated between speaking together, then splitting up and discussing things amongst their teams, and had apparently finally reached a decision. Zephyr, Furfur, do you have a second? Oh, they finally called out to us. So, George, have you decided on a format for the duel? No matter how much the two demons cheered the four of them on in a joking manner, their serious expressions did not waver. Yes, we've decided to hold a duel. The duel will take place between Shannon and me. That's surprising. For a one-on-one duel, we would have thought that George and Jessica should have fought. These guys really wanted it to be them, and they wouldn't listen. As a man, I can't stand being unable to do anything but watch. However, Shannon's resolve will not waver, so we have no choice but to respect their decision and believe in them. Canon-kun, thank you so much for believing in me. I've always thought that if we had to fight each other directly someday, it should be done like this. And we've realized that day is today. Of course, we might have been able to avoid this day. However, now this day has come, so we won't run away. That's right. I'm not running away, so I'll be right here. Me too. I placed my faith in Shannon, so I have nothing more to say. And even if Shannon is the one fighting, our power is one. So we'll be fighting together. Yes, that's right. I'm just representing the pair of us. If the lovers have decided, even we demons will not butt in. So, how would you like to settle this duel? You don't mean that you want to have a little duel, do you? At once, both Shannon and Cannon nodded. And the method? That doesn't matter as long as it's a fight to the death. If possible, we would like it to be peaceful without suffering. And we would like to avoid wounding each other unnecessarily before one of us dies. Zephyr, we should be the ones to oversee this noble duel. True. We understand, you two. We propose a noble duel, one that will honor your noble spirits. Yeah, they should not just have any duel, they should have a children's card game duel. Banished to the Shadow Realm. When Zephyr clapped loudly, a case with an old design appeared in the air and landed between Shannon and Cannon. Furfur nodded at them, urging them to open it. Cannon crouched down and opened the case. There were some antiques inside. They would have looked splendid hanging on the wall at some classy coffee shop. However, they were not mere decorations now. These are... I see. Just perfect for a duel. Inside the case were two dueling pistols. Ancient, like the kind used in the Middle Ages. Yes, this was a dueling pistol case. That only those who wished for a fight to the death were allowed to open. They have one bullet each. As you requested, we have imbued them with magic. They have magical bullets, which will bring certain and painless death, no matter where on your body they hit. Thank you very much. You are most merciful. And what if we both miss? Normally, that would be a draw. However, such a thing is not allowed in our trial. If you both miss, you'll come back and we will give you new bullets. This will repeat until one of you is dead. I have no objections. Me neither. I'm glad. This means we can finally settle this. Ushimiya George, I recognize you as Shannon's, no, Sayo's witness. Understood. Ushimiya Jessica, I recognize you as Cannon's, no, Yoshia's witness. Sure. We are responsible for this duel. It is our responsibility to see that this duel reaches a decision no matter what. When Zephyr and Furfur cried these words out, the whole area was blanketed in a gold-colored light, and when it was cleared, it had become the rose garden where golden roses bloomed. Duel over love, is it? How old-fashioned they are. I have seen many duels with pistols during my 1,000 years, but I have never seen one like this. Because it's being overseen by demons. No. A duel over love is usually a fight between two people, both in love with the same person. However, here we have a pair of lovers fighting another pair of lovers. This is quite odd. I'm sure it's because they want a miracle of magic. It seems we cannot be successful in love without such a miracle. Do you know the minimum number of people needed to create a universe? Huh? No, I don't. Shannon and Cannon each took a pistol out of the case, returned to their respective witnesses, and checked the weapons over. Then, when they both decided there were no problems, they checked once more to make sure their opponent was prepared, and nodded to each other. If there are no problems, let the duelists stand back to back, then walk the decided number of steps away from each other. Then the duel will begin on our signal. Zephyr, how many steps should they walk? Good question. Well, maybe we should choose a number that's closely bound to this duel. A number closely bound? What number is that? It's a number we know of well. It's that number which has been repeated over and over again since the time this game, this tale began. That number is 19. That's an interesting number. I like it. It's a good number to settle everything with. 19. Whenever the illusion of a 19th person was seen on this island, on which only 18 people were supposed to be, this number was used to refer to the witch. It was the number of years needed to create this tale. It was the number of years it took to reach this unavoidable day. And it was the age of the true territory lord of this world. They'll stand across from each other, then walk 19 steps. And shoot. That's pretty far. At that distance, the first one to shoot won't necessarily be the winner. If one of us shoots first and misses, that'll probably be the end for them. And if it hits, this easy game can be won without even getting a scratch. Well then, duelers, stand with your backs together. Shannon and Cannon slowly walked towards each other, facing each other. Once they turned away, they wouldn't see the other's face again until they killed them. So this face-to-face meeting would never happen again. Thanks for everything. Getting to have a little brother like you was fun. Thank you for letting me be me. Thank you for showing me color in the world of gray. Why were we born, I wonder? It would have been better if we died right after being born. That's father's sin, isn't it? Yeah. So he can just die. Let them all die. Yeah. Everyone will die. It'll happen very soon. And right after, everyone will revive, and we'll be able to see them again. We aren't birds in a cage anymore. We will finally leave our cage and fly off to our separate worlds. I should have had a duel like this with you long ago. Surely today is the day. Yeah, it's today. October 5th, 1986. The fated day. The day that one of us will die. Or maybe we'll both shoot at the same time, and both die. That might not be so bad. Even that wouldn't be bad at all. Right. After all, even if that happens, our loves will surely be made complete. Did we really need to have this duel? You did. You said it yourself. You should have done this much sooner. Right. Because to me, you are. To me, you are. Just in the way now. For the first time, the intent to kill flashed through the eyes of both. Why? For what reason? Why must such a day come for this pair that seems so much like siblings, connected by a bond different from love? It was a great mystery. As great a mystery as the question of how this could be the key towards unlocking Badler-san's closed room. I watch over this duel instead of running away, will I find the key to solving that closed room? I will, right? Zephyr-san. Furfur-san. Right? It's so sad, and then the music makes it even worse. But again, that's a mystery you should be asking yourself. Why do they need to be having this duel? The cathedral was beautifully decorated for the wedding between the Territory Lord, Lord Battler, and Lady Erica. A crowd of guests wearing goat masks filled the cathedral, waiting for the arrival of the bride and groom. As befitting a demon's wedding, it was neither solemn nor quiet, but cheery and noisy, brimming with activity. I wonder what Bito's doing. I hear she has gone to see Zephyr and Furfur. Since that powerful pair controls love, they could force even a demon king to retreat. I do hope they prove to be helpful in some way. I know all about those two. I think you know as well as me that they won't hand over that power easily. True. However, that is precisely why they are capable of granting a power that can lead to miracles. At any rate, if we could just free Battlerkin's heart from that closed room, we should be able to manage something here. Closed rooms are your favorite, are they not, Gap? Can you think of any tricks? This is a nasty one. Battler and Erica have been dropping red truths all over the place. I can say for certain that it's impossible to escape from the inside on one's own. So, after all, the only way is to have someone else trade places with him and set the chain. If someone does appear like that, saving Battler should be easy. There's a full 11 people, right? Those 11 are sealed on the second floor of the guest house. If we could somehow slip them in out of there. I see. Solving the problem of Battler-sama's closed room is equivalent to solving the problem of either closed room on the guest house second floor. Exactly. Limiting your thoughts to just Battler's guest room will be like getting trapped in a mental closed room of your own. The closed room we need to break open to save Battler isn't the guest room. It's the closed rooms in the guest house. Most unfortunately, we of Eisern Jungfrau have been placed in charge of the two rooms in the guest house. I like Telnor's wearing glasses. And you guys specialize in seals and barriers. However, that was quite impressive, Miss Gop. You realized that the closed room you should destroy to save Battler is in the guest house. The ceremony will begin soon, but then why not reconstruct the scene as a way to kill time until then? Are you sure about this? Doesn't this violate the obligation of confidentiality you have as Lady Erica's pieces? That is no problem. Surely, if you first have the seals around the scene confirmed, and fall into despair, you will be able to celebrate this ceremony more sincerely. How confident. I'll take that as a challenge. Leah, let's have ourselves a little snack before the ceremony. With that, dear ladies of Eisern, we humbly ask that you reconstruct the scene for us. We hear and obey. This is the cousin room. The next room over has the exact same layout. Carry out your inspection however you please. This room has Genji, Goda, Cannon, and then Kraus, Rudolph, and Jessica, for a total of 6 people. The next room over has Hideyoshi, George, Shannon, Kumasawa, and Nanjo, for a total of 5 people. Don't be stupid, everyone. Who's in this room doesn't matter anymore. We need to find out how to escape from it. You're right. The door and windows are sealed, so we must somehow escape from some other place. You know what? I know all about how you heaven people like to use momentum to dodge issues. This is no closed room, right? Please allow me to speak. Let it be known that the closed rooms in our charge are perfect. You were in charge of the window seal of Kinzo's room last game, right? Just how did Battler let Kinzo escape from that room? That was no fault of Cornelia's. The blame rests on her superior, me. That is exactly the same. This is exactly the same as Kinzo's study. It's the windows. This closed room cannot be broken by the windows. This trick of yours is just plain obvious. How? Lady Erica sealed the entire room, right? That means the entire room is sealed, including the windows. I see. It would seem that we have been misinterpreting the definition of these seals. Closed rooms sealed by packing tape are not impossible to break. They form no prison. That's it exactly. Seals definitely prove that a room is a closed room. However, they don't prove the room will remain as such. They only prove the room is a closed room as long as the packing tape is not broken. We are not trying to deceive you in any way. As long as the packing tape is intact, they are guaranteed to be closed rooms. That is all. Then why the windows? Why is it we can break this closed room with the windows? It's simple. We just tear the packing tape apart and jump out. I don't know what the outside wall of the guest house is like, but it must have enough of a foothold for that girl to crawl up and stick packing tape on the outside without anyone noticing. If you break the packing tape, we will immediately know that the seal has been broken. And we have already proven that the seals were intact at the time of Bachelor's logic error. True. It's true that at the time you proved the seals weren't broken. That's how you tricked us into thinking that these seals were closed rooms. The logic of seals equals closed room doesn't always apply. Dop's specialty was dealing the finishing blow in closed room mysteries. She leaned back and looked down at the short Delano as though a challenge such as this was like taking candy from a baby. Delano looked up at her with a bold expression, and sparks flew between them. What do you mean, seals equals closed room is wrong? That's insane. Remember, Leah, which seals did Erica and the others show us at that time? Which seals did they show were still intact? I see. This is the sort of falsification that the Great Court of Heaven likes to practice. I cannot let that remark pass. What is your complaint? Come on, I've been saying it the whole time. It's the windows. It's true that you people use those seals to seal them in. That included the windows, and at the time you added those seals, that counted as proof. So far, so good. But you know what? After that, anyone in this room could have done it. Who was here again? Genji, Goda, Cannon, Kraus, Rudolph, and Jessica. It could have been any one of them. All they had to do was tear the packing tape on the window, slip out from there, and save Badler. But at the time of the logic error, it was proven the seals were intact. Incorrect. At the time, Lady Erica only verified the status of the seals on the doors. Yes, come to think of it. At the time, Lady Erica just showed the doors of the two rooms, and claimed the seals were intact for each. She never mentioned the seals on the windows. That's correct. It's probably true the seals on the doors and windows were perfectly secure when they were added. However, at the time of the logic error, you only confirmed the status of the seals on the doors. In other words, since the time Erica left the guest house, it was not forbidden for someone to break through the windows and leave whenever they wished. What do you say? I've got you now, haven't I? This is how you do things. Commander Delano, it's nearly time. It seems the bride and groom have arrived. This ends our chat. We will meet again later. With a happy-looking grin on her face, Delnor turned around. Now that must have hit her where it hurts. Gop wouldn't let her get away. She grabbed the other's shoulder. Wait there! Tell us whether or not the seals on the windows were still set at the time of the logic error. If you don't, anyone in that room could have saved Badler. And who, do you think, would have been capable of such a rescue? It doesn't matter who. Then just by personal preference, I'll name Cannon-kun. He seems agile, hiding his presence is his specialty. He's the perfect person to follow after Erica and quickly come to Badler-kun's rescue. Yeah, who else? Kinzo, of course. Cannon. Impossible. Impossible. Come now, we can't trust what you say with normal words. Use the red truth. Swear upon that red longsword of yours. Miss Gop, a sacred wedding is about to begin here. You ask me to draw my sword in a sacred place such as this. How inelegant and rude. Let's do this some other time. Goodbye. It's possible for Canon to save Badler. After Erika sealed the room, he left by the window, switched places with Badler-kun in the guest room, set the chain lock, and hid in the closet. Impossible. The window seals were also intact. Of course, this is at the time of the logic error. Gop's rapid reverse roundhouse that followed her blue wedge crossed with Delanor's red longsword, and both pointed at each other's throat. The once peaceful mood of the wedding broke apart. Several goat guests whispered to each other, wondering why these two seemed to be fighting. Okay, so you can counter that. Why don't you just say so in the first place? We thought that Beatrice might eventually reach that thought. Then barge in on the wedding with that as the key to Badler's escape. I did not think you would press us first and force us to show our hand. Yeah, I guess Gop's fighting Delanor with her legs, I guess. You do fight dirty, don't you? You were trying to trap Bito by making her suspect the windows, then turn the tables on her. What else should a human who guards the bride be expected to do? Are you satisfied now? A demon world style wedding truly is vulgar and barbaric. If you would excuse us. It's interesting too that like Delanor and her underlings, like technically they work for heaven to expel witches, but now they're like on the side of a witch and helping her because it helps them to defeat another witch. Wait up, you haven't fooled me yet. When you mentioned window seals just now, you were talking about the ones on the room where Canon was, the cousin room, right? Then what about the windows on the next room over? All you've done is show that the rescue would have been impossible for Canon. There's still a chance for the humans in the next room over. How very persistent. We apologize for our rudeness. We are the Chester Sisters, Imperial Guards, in charge of security at the ceremony. I'm afraid I must ask both of you for your stamped invitations. Oh, she took off her glasses. Delanor A. Knox. I am with the bride's party. Here is my stamped invitation. Also, here are my credentials as bodyguard to the bride. Confirmed as Chief Knox. Welcome to Lord Badler's wedding. I'm Gop. I'm with the groom's party. Here's my invitation and... Oh crap. You didn't get it stamped at the reception desk, yeah? I came here directly, so I didn't go by the reception desk. It's still unstamped. Why do you always have to do that at times like this? Gop-sama, my apologies, but we'll have to ask you to come with us to a different room. Delanor watched, shrugged, and turned away. Wait there, Delanor! Respond to my blue truth! If you want the opinion of the Great Court of Heaven, please fill out an application in accordance with court procedures. Allow me to speak. Know that the ticket window is open from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock on weekdays. Lunch breaks run from 12 o'clock to 1:15. Allow me to speak. Know that the use of whiteout or strike-throughs is not permitted when filling out forms. There's a rumor that they refuse Comiket applications for the same thing, yeah? Again, these games debuted at Comiket each year, so each Comiket, Ryukishi would release a new episode, so that's why they're referring to Comiket. That's an urban legend. Probably. Let us provisionally accept that blue truth verbally. It will be put on hold until the proper forms are received, and duplicate submissions are not allowed. I don't understand. Can you respond to my blue truth, or can't you? If you fill out the application on Monday, we should be able to have an answer for you by the end of next month. Duplicate submissions are forbidden, so the blue truth you just spoke will be unusable during this wedding ceremony. This is in accordance with the laws of evidence from the official Great Court Regulations, Article 214, Section 15, regarding the prevention of duplicate submissions. Please allow me to speak. Know that it is forbidden for blue truth to be used based on the argument that the window seals of the next room over were torn at the time of the logic error. Please allow me to speak. Know that the opposing side is under no obligation to respond to the aforementioned blue truth. Cowards! Hey, let go of me, rabbit band! The Chester sisters led Gop away. Just when she thought she'd reached the core, they underhandedly refused to respond. However, this is a big clue. There's a chance that the window seals on the next room could have been broken. In other words, it might be possible for Hideyoshi, George, Kumasawa, Shannon, or Nanjo to save Bowdler. Yeah, could you imagine like Kumasawa or Nanjo jumping down from the window and going to save Bowdler heroically? It's gotta be a red herring, right? I guess you'll just have to find out. And yet just now, that move was sealed away. Hey, Haley, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for following me. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. The use of any blue based on the window seals on the next room over might have been broken, has been prevented. It's now impossible to claim that the 5 who could have saved Bowdler were the ones who did it. What the hell? That's low. That's the answer, isn't it? I also noticed that they hadn't proven the window seals were intact. But if they can't use the blue truth, what are they supposed to do? Yeah, I know. I'm sure you're laughing at me again because you alone discovered the answer. My apologies, child of man. I am having trouble just as you are. I can't believe I'm hearing you say that. I also realized that the windows of the next room over were left available. However, I hadn't imagined that the use of that argument would be prevented. Doesn't this seriously violate the rules? I mean, how can a quiz be fair if you can't say the right answer? Isn't this a logic error for the other side? We can also view the fact that this tale is continuing as proof that it wasn't a logic error. In other words, there's some other answer completely unrelated to the windows of the next room over. Or, it may be possible to explain, without discussing the windows, how one of those 5 came to Bowdler's rescue. If they can't talk about the windows, they'll have to find a different way to leave the room. That practically makes the next room over a closed room. Yes, that is why I am also stuck. Because of these strange self-seal proclamations, the 2 rooms have once again become closed rooms. Most likely. Most likely what? If you're so vastly intelligent, what kind of answer have you found? There is no answer. No answer? What do you mean? There is no way out except for the windows of the next room over. And yet we are not allowed to include those windows in our reasoning. There probably is no answer for this closed room. And if so, what next? Since no answer exists, then defeat is absolutely certain for whichever player is burdened with the responsibility of explaining. So we have no moves left. In other words, that statement of Delanor's was the final blow? Doesn't this make it checkmate? No. One move does exist. However, that move is one that can never be used again. And it is also part of Bito's heart. You mean one of those greatest riddles of this tale? Precisely. By using that, or possibly... Featherine sighed deeply. It was something she hadn't done once before now. I see. So as long as this tale has been, it is finally time for the curtain to close. Exposing the answer to this riddle means the same as finally killing Bito. Perhaps Bowdler is the only one qualified to make that decision. If we weave such a tale as the Game Master, no one would be able to stop it now. The greatest riddle of this tale will probably be revealed very soon. deep sound reverberated throughout the cathedral. It was the sound of the several dozen Chester Sisters Imperial Guards, members of the Honor Guard, who stood in a line across the cathedral and stamped their heels in unison. It brought about total silence, even before the demons running the ceremony spoke. Let us have silence, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the wedding of Lord Badler, Territory Lord and Golden Sorcerer, and Lady Erica, the Witch of Truth. Zephyr and Furfur had appeared in the center of the cathedral. Having them invited to host a wedding was a great honor. Though they had asked for silence, the attendants who packed the cathedral welcomed the two demons with an enormous applause. Oh, it's Zephyr and Furfur. And what about Bito? She may have already snuck onto the grounds. They searched for Bito in the crowd of several hundred people, but they couldn't find her anywhere. I wonder if Bito managed to find a way to save Badler-kun. If she managed to gain Zephyr and Furfur's power, then I'm sure she has. There exists no miracle that cannot be gained after receiving their strength. If she didn't? Then that goat biting its handkerchief over there is probably her. Then let us welcome the bride and groom. Please give them a grand welcome and celebrate them as they start their new life. Come out, bride and groom. Walk the path of the shackles called marriage, which will bind you until the grave. The big doors in the back of the cathedral slowly opened. And then, the Territory Lord and his beautiful bride came into view. Arm in arm, the pair slowly began to walk down the path to the grave, lined with red carpet. The Chester Honor Guard stood at attention along either side of that path, raised their adorned bayonets with mechanical precision, and made sure no evil could block the path that the pair walked down. Chester sisters that weren't part of the Honor Guard were stationed all over the cathedral, hiding behind pillars and the like, keeping an eye out for any intruders. 00 calling 445 and 410. Any irregularities? Ceiling snipers all clear, yeah? 410 and 45 were on top of a massive chandelier hanging from the cathedral's ceiling. Several other sniper pairs could be seen stationed on top of other chandeliers. The seemingly festive cathedral was actually being heavily guarded in places the attendants wouldn't notice. Currently, we are simultaneously targeting 36 attendants suspected of being Lady Beatrice, as well as 131 in positions from which an attack might be launched. Surveillance in progress. Don't let your guard down. Lady Beatrice will almost certainly stage an attack on this wedding. That'd be so cool, breaking in to steal the bride, yeah? 410, he's the groom, not the bride. But he's playing the bride's part, yeah? The Chester sniper teams on the chandeliers use super high efficiency observers to track the movements of the several hundred attendants. If any one of those made any suspicious movements, the Chesters would have been given permission to fire immediately. The one on that chandelier is Chester 127. That overkilling monster sniper could pulverize a human target from 2 kilometers away. The one on the chandelier across from that is Chester 20. Her firing rate is 6,000 shots per minute. However, she's using a portable magazine this time, so 2 seconds is all it'll take for her to use up all her ammo. Lazy bum can barely do her job for 2 seconds, yeah? Yeah, pulverize the wedding attendees, you know, like tradition states. Slowly and making a show of it, the two walked down the red carpeted path. Badler's eyes were blank. If you look closely, you could probably tell that Eric was dragging him by the arm she held. In other words, they weren't walking together. This was a ceremony for Erica, to show off to everyone that this man belonged to her. Behind the bride and groom walked the 7 Sisters of Purgatory, who held long ceremonial arms in the shape of the one-winged eagle. That moron Badler, what's he lazing about for? This is why people call him incompetent. I can understand Beatrice-sama's pain better than anyone else. It's all because that stupid Badler caused a logic error. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Beatrice-sama will not fall to sloth and let this wedding go on. Of course, Beatrice-sama is greedy. She won't let someone else take away her favorite toy. She'll definitely show up. I hear the reception's gonna have tons of delicious food. I want to wear a wedding dress now. Bern Castell and Lambda Delta were in the noble seating on the balcony. They were sipping some bizarre carbonated cocktails as they looked down upon the show. What a splendid wedding dress. I love stuff like this. This is just the opening performance. That's pretty cruel. Which event do you think will be the headliner? Don't tell me you really think Bito will come. As you know well, Badler's closed room is perfect. How could Bito win, right? You must have heard too. There's a chance that the window seal on the next door has been torn. It seems that Delnor managed to seal that path off for now, but she just denied the concept instead of sealing the actual window. It'll fly out the window again. This one-winged eagle thing. Wanna bet? On whether Bito comes? I bet she comes with certainty. I bet she comes miraculously. This isn't gonna work. The Witch of Certainty and the Witch of Miracles were both sure Bito would come. However, they were very interested in exactly how she would break the closed room and take Badler back. You've been watching from behind the scenes, so you probably know. You know what the trick is. More or less, but Erica's done a hell of a job, so even now I'm stumped. Liar. Huh? I'm sure you found one already. There does exist a trick that can save Badler, right? There does, but it's tough. And if that move is used, part of Bito's heart will be exposed. Isn't that right? Oh, so you already know. Hey, wanna change our bet? To what? To whether Bito or Erica wins. Sure, if you're willing to bet on Erica. I'll do it. Oh, you are betting on Erica? And why do you think you can win? If this trick is a part of Bito's heart, then Badler, the Game Master, will hesitate at exposing it, and so they cannot win. It will probably be a draw. I'm sure they'll sidestep the issue somehow and run away. Badler has sworn to let Bito rest in peace. Bird, you're being too naive. The bet was made, based on the assumption of that certain miracle that Bito would come. Virgilia was standing in the front row, tried to call out as soon as Badler walked by. She tried to tell him the window seal in the next room over hadn't been checked, hoping this would give him a hint. However, she had been marked perfectly. The instant she tried to lean forward, two Chester sisters right behind her grabbed her arms. That powerful force told her that she wouldn't be able to move even a step forward. Trapped, she was forced to stand there and watch as Badler walked past. Badler-kun. Even now, he is fighting in that closed room all by himself. However, he cannot get out by his own power alone. Unless someone comes to save him, he cannot get out. Unless that child comes to save him, Badler-kun will be trapped. If there is a key to that closed room, I am certain Milady will find it. Milady, I am sure you've gone through many trials in your life, but please, there's one trial you must overcome. I am certain you can do it. I, Ronald, do not doubt that in the slightest. The bride and groom's procession slowly advanced down the path to the grave and reached the altar. Though walking slowly with ceremonious and proper etiquette, it was also tiring. Erica glanced over at Badler. Of course, his eyes were blank. His heart was still inside that closed room. Once more, the sound of the Chester honor guard stamping their heels rang out loudly. Silence returned to the cathedral again. Now the wedding ceremony would finally begin. People live for the sake of love. Therefore today you have fulfilled the purpose of your lives. Oh, how great is the power to live, the power of love. I pray the brightness of this day blesses these two for all time. Come now, you who love one another. Make the oath of love. In the place of the husband who cannot speak. Let the wife make the oath on the behalf of the pair. Badler swears to Erica, and Erica swears to Badler, to support each other, both in sickness and in health. I didn't catch that, Badler-san. If you have some objection, please say it a bit more clearly, in a loud voice. If you have anything further to say, please get yourself out of that logic error closed room first. Don't worry, I'll support you until that day comes. You have heard the pair's oath of love. Oh, let this oath be eternal. The thunderous applause celebrated their marriage of subordination. After the oath, they would symbolize the bond. It was the exchanging of the rings. The Territory Lord's ring with the one-winged eagle engraved on it, then sat on Balor's finger, would become Erika's. By this, she would become the ruler of this game board. And in exchange, Balor's finger would be given a diamond ring that Erika had prepared. At a glance, it looked just like a ring adorned by a large diamond. However, this cursed ring would force Balor into eternal subservience and mark him as another's property. Yes, let the pair exchange rings. Since the husband's fingers cannot move, let his wife support him. Erika respectfully took Balor's right hand and slowly pulled off the Territory Lord's ring that had been on his finger. That was the ring Bito had entrusted him with. Erika stole it away. This is the ring that woman left behind, right? How does it feel to have that stolen away by women like me? Huh? I can't hear you. Please say it one more time. Oh. To hell. Oh, that. Well, then there's no need to worry, Balor-san. Erika pressed her lips up against Balor's earlobe as if biting it and told him where they were. We're already there. Then slowly, she took Bito's ring, which she had stolen from Balor, and slipped it into her own left hand. And now, bride, you may give the groom your ring. That's one hell of a ring. A shackle that'll hold him in place for all time. Yeah, it's custom made. Even Balor's blank eyes could see the diamond ring Erika held. It was like Erika herself. On the outside it shone beautifully, and possessed an absolute hardness that would bend to no one's will. And on the inside, to symbolize never letting go of the prey it latched onto, it had 8 sharp thorns pointing inwards. If they had been growing out of the other side, it would have looked like the collar of a guard dog from hell. However, whoever heard of putting those on the inside? By twisting the diamond, those thorns could slide in or out. In other words, if you twisted it after thrusting the finger inside, the inward-facing thorns would bite down, never releasing until the end of time. Then even his soul would be trapped, and his body, mind, and soul be forced to serve Erika for all eternity. Are you kidding me? Or, who the hell would wear a ring like that? He couldn't even finish speaking that simple phrase. And furthermore, those awkward words were the only way he could resist. She raised Balor's left hand and stroked his ring finger as if tasting it. Erika pressed the ring of subordination against the tip of his finger. If a ring is made to fit too tightly, it can be painful and hard to take off. However, this ring was never intended to be removed for life anyway, so its inner band had been mercilessly narrowed. Even without the thorns, forcing a small ring like this on would hurt. This ring will seal up your body, heart, and soul for all eternity, and you'll become an eternal living doll. I won't even let you die. You'll be endlessly defiled and humiliated by me, and every time I forget the taste of victory, I'll use your body to remind me. Over and over again. If you got the guts to bite off your tongue, now's the time. Once this goes on your finger, you won't even be able to do that. Balor didn't even have the strength to bite his tongue. Even if he had, he didn't want to give up before finding a way to escape the closed room, so he couldn't kill himself. However, if he accepted the ring, he would never be able to even think about escaping from the room, much less commit suicide. Stop it. No way. Look. I'm sticking your finger in. Hey Lear, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. Yeah, we need an objection in here, gosh. It hurts. It wasn't just the pain of having his finger forced through the tight ring. The curse of the ring fiercely tormented Badler's body from the inside. That pain would always torment Badler, but fortunately, the power of the ring even stole away the heart that could understand that pain. Erica kept screwing the all-too-small demon's ring on. It hurts. It's impossible. There's no way it'll fit. Don't worry, it will fit, no problem. With an obscene laugh, Erica let a silver thread drip from her mouth and soaked the finger in the ring. Ew. Please relax. We'll stick it in all at once. Gosh, there's so much innuendo here. Please don't resist uselessly. It'll hurt less if you don't resist, okay? You see, now it's sliding right in. No. Slowly, Badler's finger went deeper and deeper through the ring. He was pushed through the iron ring of pain and humiliation, which would never be removed again. Come on, look okay. It's all in the way to the base, see? It hurts. It hurts. Take it off. The demon's ring tightened around the finger, so much that it seemed the finger would snap off along with the bone. Could Badler's hazy expression of anguish really describe how unbearable this filthy pain was? Okay, now that it's on its way, let's add the final touch, shall we? After this, you'll be mine forever. Erica touched the ring's diamond knob. If she twisted it, the thorns would bite in and never let go again. No. Stop it. Sure. Just say, "Forgive me, Erica-sama," and I'll stop. Really? Hey Mai, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. Good to see you. Please forgive me, Erica-sama. I swear to spend the rest of my life as your dog with a collar around my neck, so at least spare me that ring. If you can say that, I won't make you wear the ring. Huh? I can't really hear you. I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you. For making you suffer like this. No, I'll never forgive you. For defiling Rito's ring. Though Badler's eyes had supposedly been forced into a muddled condition, they appeared strong for just an instant. However, it really was only for an instant. Badler used up the last of his fleeting resistance just to say those words. In his dim consciousness, he had even bitten his own tongue to stay alert, so he could say those words of resistance until the very end. Of course, it seems you aren't the kind of dog that could be tamed, but it's better that way. Erica smiled, then she turned the diamond. In that instant, Badler let out a voiceless scream and threw his head back. Ah! His howl had no voice and could be heard by no one. However, it still rang out throughout the cathedral. Oh, thanks for the stretch, Garen. Yeah, things aren't looking so good for Badler. Meanwhile... a dreary breeze blew through the Golden Rose Garden. Shannon and Cannon had already finished walking 19 steps, their backs still facing each other. When the demons conducting the trial gave the signal, they would both turn and settle this. Each one of them had one of the dueling pistols given by the demons in their hands. The bullets promised certain death no matter where on the body they hit. This duel would not end until one of them died. George and Jessica just quietly watched the ones they loved. They had already entrusted all their thoughts to them as well as their fates. Just watching over their partners was now the only way they could show their trust. Shannon and Cannon stood quietly with their backs turned. They had already set aside the feelings they built up during all those days they'd known each other. Next time they laid eyes on the other, nothing would be asked of them except pulling that trigger. The only one who still couldn't muster any determination or resolve towards this duel was Bito. The closer that moment came, the less she understood. The love between George and Shannon wasn't standing in the way of the love between Jessica and Cannon, or vice versa. Why, when both sides could find happiness, were they being forced to kill each other? I don't understand. I just can't understand. Little sister, we are not permitted to do anything but watch. Zephyr-san, Furfur-san, why this duel? This is no trial of love. You really are demons. You just want to enjoy watching one of the pairs fall apart, don't you? Silence. You'll get in the way of the lovers. You're the ones getting in their way. One will fall. The one who loves that person will grieve. If only you two weren't around, no one would be sad. That is not true. If we hadn't set up this duel, then both pairs would have fallen apart. This duel is necessary. I haven't been able to accept that since the beginning. You say their love can't be successful without a miracle of magic? What does love need other than two people who love each other? This duel is meaningless. So stop it, you two. Shannon and Cannon both. Why must you fight each other to the death when you were once as close as true siblings? I just can't understand. Everyone should have been able to hear Bito's yell. However, no one's expression changed. That's right. I'm impressed that you noticed. This is love's truth. What is? Normally, love leads nothing more than two people who love each other. Hey Kiefer, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's going well. Therefore, when there aren't two people, we must use a duel to make that number become two. I could understand if it was a duel between two people fighting over one woman. If it were a duel to cut three people down in love to two. But here we have two pairs of people. The world formed by each pair is complete, isn't it? There's nothing compelling them to fight. The minimum number of people that can create a world is two. A world can only be born. Love can only be fulfilled when two people gather. That's why this duel is necessary. So that they can get up to that number of people. Are you saying that furniture is subhuman so they don't count as a single person? Exactly. Furniture is subhuman. That's why furniture and a human cannot add up to two people. That's insane! Status has nothing to do with it if both of them love each other. No, it does. Do you really think the status of a pair of lovers doesn't matter? Is a man who has a wife allowed to love someone else? Is a woman who has a husband allowed to love someone else? Are you allowed to fall in love with your parents? Are you allowed to fall in love with your children? There are many situations where status makes love unallowable. Then just what is furniture? Why mustn't furniture fall in love? Because their soul is less than a single person. Is an idol who is in love with 100 fictional men allowed to love someone else? Maybe that's your great mystery, Kieran. But everything that Zephyr and Furfur is saying here is actually really important. It doesn't make sense to you now, but when we finish the whole novel and you come back and read this, it will suddenly make a lot more sense. This is all just a big metaphor. But for what? Shannon, Cannon, and of course the piece that you are. All of you are furniture, subhuman beings who possess less than a single person's soul. To be qualified to love a human, you need only one thing. The possession of a single person's soul. That's why a pair in love can create a world. For example, do you think a man with a wife has the right to love another woman? Of course not. If he loved two women, neither would get a full person's worth of love. A man such as that would be unworthy of love. See? There are plenty of statuses in humans who have no right to love a person. As long as both people feel love, nothing else matters. That's just hypocrisy of naive love. We cannot forgive humans who falsely pretend they have the right to love. We cannot forgive the love of subhuman beings, of those who don't make up the minimum number of people required to create a world. That is the purpose of our trial. It is to let the sinful souls regain a complete soul and become capable of true love. Zephyr-sama, Furfur-sama. Our hearts are ready. Please give the signal to start the duel. The pair bidding farewell quietly asked for the signal to be given. Zephyr nodded silently, then walked to a place that could be seen by both of them. Furfur spoke in a voice quiet enough to avoid distracting the two duelists. Watch. Watch the duel to see which of the lovers will fall apart. No, this isn't a duel to see who falls apart. This is a duel to make true love succeed. I don't understand what you two are saying. No, you must understand. This marks the birth of a human who can truly love another. I don't understand. No matter which wins, please support them. Right now, their days as furniture will end. The signal is simple. I will count to 3. When I reach 3, the duel will commence. Understood. Same here. If both miss, the duel will be temporarily suspended. You will be given bullets again, and I will start over from the beginning, with your backs to each other. I guess I'll repeat until it's all settled. Zephyr, have you seen this sort of duel many times in the past? Of course, I've seen many of them. Usually how many times do they need to face off before it's over? In almost all cases, it's decided in the first round. They must all be really good shots. That's not it. If one side misses, the other can corner them in their leisure and shoot. If the first bullet misses, then you've lost your chance at victory. However, if you take too long, you'll lose before you can even pull the trigger. If you're gonna lose anyways, you at least want to have to pull the trigger first. The resolve is good, you two. Then, let's go. One. 2. 3. In the Golden Rose Garden, when the number 3 was yelled, the sound of gunfire rang out at once. Even the people watching couldn't tell whether that was a single gun firing, or the sound of both going off at the same time. In the midst of the stench of gunpowder and white smoke, there with the gun raised and smoke trailing the barrel, was Cannon. And lying on the earth was Shannon. Shannon? Son. No. Shannon fell before the gun fired. Yeah. Jessica's distressed expression was enough to explain what happened. Slowly, Shannon stood up. There was no bullet wound anywhere on her body. At the time of the signal, Shannon had thrown herself to the ground, dodging the bullet. It had been a bet. If Shannon turned around and taken the time to aim carefully before shooting, then he would have shot her as she lay there. However, if Shannon shot as soon as he turned around, she would be able to dodge it. Hey Lunar Bunny, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for following me. Thanks for being a froggy friend. Cannon also made a bet. He did not underestimate Shannon's skill with a firearm. He was fully aware that if he assumed Shannon would be timid enough to let him shoot, he would lose before even pulling the trigger. So he decided to shoot right away. And he had predicted that when he shot, Shannon would reflexively pull the trigger too. Since he intended to shoot right away, he would be more mentally prepared, so he was confident he'd be able to shoot accurately. If Cannon had cautiously turned around and Shannon shot instantly with the strength of her will, then Cannon wouldn't even have been able to pull the trigger. So no impatience on Cannon's part was to blame here. The two had simply given it their all, left their fates to the heavens, and reached this result. I didn't imagine that my quick-tempered Nasan wouldn't shoot at all. I'm surprised too, to think that old, prudent Cannon-kun would shoot as soon as he turned. As Shannon quietly pointed the barrel at him, she slowly walked forward. She planned on cautiously closing the gap until she reached a distance from which she could hit with even more accuracy. And Cannon had already lost any means of fighting back. He could only try to dodge Shannon's bullets and place his bet on the second round. If they both thought this, then what happened next would turn that assumption on its head. This isn't over yet. Cannon dashed forward like a tornado, bent so low he was almost crawling over his shadow. This duel could only be settled by a bullet. But he wasn't the only one who had a bullet. If he could steal Shannon's gun away from her, he could turn this fight around. And if Shannon calmly shot through Cannon, it would end. The odds that Shannon would miss were that he can get close enough to her before she fired. Cannon would bet all the chips he had on them. Shannon could draw Cannon in until the last second, then shoot him from a closer distance. If she pulled the trigger just before he reached her, then even if she missed, they would just start again from the beginning. Shannon kept her gun pointing at Cannon's forehead as she compared these options until the final moment. She led her shot, calculating the distance he had already moved at the time it would take to pull the trigger. The Goddess of Fortune smiles impartially. Ugh! No! Surviving past the final moment Shannon could have shot, Cannon barreled into her chest. He then swung his hand up and knocked the gun Shannon held into the air. That strike sent Shannon's gun flying to the sky. At the same time, Cannon's gun also flew from his hand and danced through the air. The two guns danced a rondo through the sky, reached their peak and began to fall. By that time, neither knew whose gun was which. The two guns were exactly the same. Everything about them was identical. There was no more way to tell them apart. However, there was one difference. Only one of them had a bullet inside. The pair raised their hands to the sky, trying to grasp their fate. Their miracle. It was as though they were trying to grasp the wings of a descending angel of miracles. The pair looked up at the brilliant sky and entrusted everything to the Goddess of Fortune. Then they each grabbed one of the guns out of the air, and after dancing a momentary rondo, their arms crossed each other. Even that had been like a dance. Then they each had the barrel of their gun pressed up against the other's forehead, both as steady as a rock. Everything they could not know, even they could not know which gun held the bullet. When they both pressed the triggers, one would die, and one would remain alive. The match would end. George and Jessica wouldn't know the result until that moment came. However, was it really impossible for the two holding the guns to know? The muzzle of Cannon's gun, which had already been fired, must have been warm. And the muzzle of the other gun, which Shannon hadn't fired, should have been ice cold. So perhaps the pair of them did realize which gun was which. And yet, both expressions were solemn. The faces of those who would believe in their fate unswervingly until the moment the triggers were pulled. Don't be sad. We'll meet again soon in the Golden Land. We should have done this much sooner. If only we had, our reunion could have been avoided entirely. It's alright. Considering what day this is, even this duel is just a farce. You're right. If we're just going to revive in the Golden Land anyway, It really is just a farce. And I'll see you later. Yeah, you too. So long. Canon-kun! Hey, what's going on there? Hang in there! Suddenly, Canon fell to the floor as he had an attack of anemia. It happened without any warning beforehand, so everyone rushed up to him in alarm. What they saw surprised them. There was a single strand of blood across his forehead, making it look as though it had cracked open. Huh? How? What happened? What's going on? Trying to get a look at the wound, Goda wiped Canon's forehead with a handkerchief. However, his forehead was perfectly smooth, without any trace of a wound. And yet blood was pouring out, almost as though it was seeping through his skin. What are you doing? Stop the bleeding right away! But even though there's no wound, the blood won't stop coming. Hang in there, Canon-kun! Canon-kun! Yoshia-kun! Canon's forehead was pale, and those eyes were open. They had lost sight, or they had lost the light of the living. Just like a puppet whose strings had been cut. He had passed away. Yoshia-kun! Yoshia-kun! So long, Canon-kun. Thank you. Jessica dashed up to Canon's corpse, held it, pressed her forehead against his. As the still hot blood smeared over her forehead as well, she sobbed. Shannon. George-san, you've won. Now, I finally have the right to love you. Finally. Shannon leaned against George's chest, as though the strings holding her up had been cut. George held her in silence. Yoshi-kun! Yoshi-kun! There was nothing in the golden rose garden except the wind that carried golden flower petals, and the sound of Jessica's grieving sobs. Is your trial for us finished now? It is. Congratulations. You two were the ones who remained. We will give you our blessing, but please don't forget, you are now responsible for nurturing your love. Please take good care of the seed of love that this miracle has created. Of course. I swear it to her and to you two. And now let Shannon have the miracle of magic. Now your soul will become human. You'll become a single person. Gather incomplete souls, become one and know love. Gosh, I'm like tearing up here. God, the music is really what makes it. Man. Reading out loud also makes it a lot more emotional than just reading in your head. When Zephyr and Furfur faced the heavens and yelled, the miracle of love gathered the souls around Shannon. Oh, the music's back! Oh, thanks for calling Kirby. It came from the losers of the trial, from Canon who had been defeated, and from Bito who had dropped out. Slowly the bodies of the two began to break down into flecks of gold dust. What's going on here? No one ever said the losers would disappear! As she yelled, Bito the Elder supported the body of her fading little sister. However, the two demons were smiling quietly. Canon has disappeared because he died. Bito was born to love Battler and is disappearing because she has lost the qualifications to do that. It is quite fair. If you had survived, the other two would have vanished. Hang in there, little sister, hang in there. Weren't you going to solve Battler's closed room and save him? What are you doing? getting finished off in a place like this. You call yourself a part of our complete form? Why was I born for the purpose of loving Badler-san? Why do I love Badler-san? The truth is, I don't know why I start to love him. What? Why are you saying this now? After all, when I was born, I was told to love Badler-san and be loved by him. That was my purpose, so I don't really know why I love him. People don't need a reason to love each other. Don't disappear. If you disappear, who will save Badler? Little sister, Beatrice! Hey Johan, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the Kirby lip sync. Why is it that I love Badler-san? Mother? Well, I'm actually not a big fan of the family-oriented type of girl. You see how crude I am, right? I just can't handle acting politely in front of girls, ladies first and all that stuff. So if I had to say what type I liked, well, I'd probably like a Jessica-ish girl. If I'm crude, why shouldn't she be too? It'd probably be just perfect to have a rough, relaxed relationship where we can mess around without worrying about gender and be rude with no worries. So if I ever get a girlfriend, I hope it's someone I can joke around with all the time. Huh? What would she look like? Can't say I care much either way. Well, if she did happen to be a glamorous woman, blonde and bouncy with blue eyes like in Western films, that'd be awesome. I'd love to rub those boobs. Oh, Badler. Beatrice. Listen. I'm giving you my love for Ushimiya Badler. Become the kind of woman Badler wants. Take the golden hair he likes. Take the blue eyes he likes. Take this personality that matches his. And then, you must love him in my place. And then if possible, you must be loved by him. I can no longer love him. Please take my feelings that went unfulfilled, my feelings I couldn't hold back, and make my wish come true. From this day forward, you are no longer the Rokenjima ghost that lives only to play pranks. From this day forward, you will become the master of this island. Wait for the day he comes to fulfill his promise. From this day forward, you will do this in my place. So from this day forward, you will no longer be me. Please forgive me for pushing all my worries onto you, while I alone try to find happiness. From this day forward, you have the right to hate everything. From this day forward, you are the Golden Witch, Beatrice. And one day, you will destroy everything, revive everything. You will bring blessings to all lovers. When that happens, I pray that you and I will both succeed in finding happiness. From this day forward, you will no longer be me. From this day forward, I will no longer be you. The two of us will split apart, a single soul, and share it. And though of course neither of us will possess a complete soul, I'm sure our dreams will be more numerous than those of humans. Let us be blessed, my dear Beatrice. No one would be able to see your form. However, I alone can see you. And if you are loved by many people, I'm sure everyone will be able to see you someday. With love, they will be able to see us. Yeah, Badler, you could have a boyfriend, right? You don't need a girlfriend. You could have a boyfriend, not someone you could be rough with, right? Yoshi-kun. Are we dreaming? Insane. What kind of joke is this? Well, get Dr. Nanjo. Call Dr. Nanjo here. Oda, that is enough. Genji, who had been calm and silent through the whole thing, finally spoke. And his were the most reasonable words spoken. If they called Nanjo here, then what? Not only was there no arm to take the pulse of, There wasn't even a forehead to feel the heat of. Like leftover snow on a spring day, Cannon's form had been. But now not even a trace remained. His form had sparkled with a spray of gold, vanishing completely. Where did he go? Where's Yoshia-kun? Yoshia-kun! Yoshia-kun! So long, milady. No, Jessica. Cannon-san. And now no one's eyes can see us. That means we're no longer in their world. However, we are right here. You're right. We are here. For us, a body is nothing more than a cage made of flesh. There's no need to be sad. But I do feel sad for her. For Jessica-san. This is all my sin. This is why furniture isn't supposed to love. What will you do now? Though I have lost my form, though I can no longer talk to her, and even though if Jessica ever talks to me, I can do nothing except nod behind her back. I will be by her side. I think that's wonderful. What will you do? I want to save Badler-san from a closed room. A closed room. After looking a bit taken aback, Cannon laughed gently. Vitu, who didn't expect to be laughed at, looked a little sour. Why are you laughing? This is very important to me. But it's a closed room. That's something for humans with bodies to worry about, right? Huh? Ah. We've already been released from our cage of flesh. How could a closed room hinder us? Are you sure about that? I mean, there's a chain lock and packing tape seals and red truth. I see. So you aren't a being from the world of pieces, but a higher level world. That means your limitations are different from ours. Or so I hear. Ah, well. Cannon stretched. It looked as though he was about to head out somewhere. Cannon-san. Seeing as you're a fellow loser. Okay. I'll go for you. Oh, thank you for the stretch, Kieran. You guys also should take a stretch at home too, and I will stretch as well. I really needed it. Also, I know you guys are joking in the chat, but Umineko episode 7 does have a potentially gay couple. Just saying. I'll go to the guest room in the mansion. Let Badler-sama out. Set the chain behind me and hide in the closet in its place. Is that enough? I'm glad for the sentiment. However, even if you want to leave the cousin room because of Erika-san's seals. Unlike the next room over, the cousin room containing Cannon was a guaranteed, complete closed room, even counting the windows. Not only did he have no way to save Badler, he couldn't even escape himself. In that case, use your magic to give me power. My magic? Yeah, use your magic on me. Wait, I don't even know how. Aren't you Beatrice, the Golden Witch? I am a witch, but, I don't even know about closed room tricks, much less magic. Okay, listen up, Beatrice. I'll only tell you this once. This is what a witch is. What a witch is? A witch is not the one who solves puzzles. Not the one who solves puzzles. Yeah, that's right. If you're a witch, why are you clutching at your head because of someone else's puzzles? That's not a witch's job, right? Then what is a witch's job? The Golden Witch I know would have used insane magic to create a puzzle no one could understand, confusing everyone and sneering. Create a horrible riddle no one can get, spit everyone out and badmouth them. You aren't supposed to clutch at your head worrying about your opponent's puzzles. That's your opponent's job. Worrying is my opponent's job. Don't worry about how Ushimi Badler got out of the closed room. A chain lock closed room? How trivial. You need to create a much more spectacular ultimate closed room and make it so they're the ones worrying. I'll even lend a hand. I'm not the one who worries. That's for them to do. It's about time they learn the true terror of the Golden Witch Beatrice, the one who can create endless closed room tricks of the most horrific kind, tricks that can make even the demons of hell prostrate themselves in shock. A closed room, even more horrific than Battler-san's. We've already gotten our hands on one, haven't we? A horrific closed room. Ah! In the back of Bito's mind, images she remembered began to flit by one after another. He really said, have you considered gaslighting? I mean, that's basically what magic is in this game, if you think about it, right? The mansion, the guest house, the rose garden. Trick, mistake, lure, taunt, trap, laugh together. Do you know about this trick? I think I've seen something like it in a book before. Ito's eyes opened wider and wider. Countless lights circled around her, swallowing her up. And one more thing. What? There's no way for the Witch of Closed Rooms to talk. So after all, I must be... me. The marriage ceremony ended without any problems, and the reception was held inside the cathedral. As the goat demons partied raucously, Delnor could be seen leaning against a pillar, trying to escape from the noise. Then Gertrude appeared and whispered some kind of report to her. You figured out episode 7, Kumasawa x Virgilia. Oh my goodness. You're too much. Is it true? Allow me to speak. Aide Cornelia is currently heading towards the scene. I suggest Lady Erica be contacted as well. Understood. I will tell her. Gertrude, contact the head of ceremony security. Prepare for battle. As you wish. I apologize for interrupting your chat. I'm in charge of security for the ceremony. Huh? Is it me? Do you want something? I told you you were going too far. Champagne Tower bowling was always a bad idea. Looks like it's time for a scolding. Hey, Burn! Hey, what's going on? Did I do something wrong? The reception desk has received an envelope from an unknown sender addressed to Lady Lambda Delta. I always ignore anonymous calls and letters. Just throw it away. But please look at this. What's that? Did you tell anyone you received this? No, only the two sisters at the reception desk and I know. They have already been ordered to keep silent. The instant she saw that envelope, Lambda Delta snatched it away and lowered her voice. Burn Castell had walked away and was apparently making fun of Erica. Burn and of course Erica were both drunk. If they were left alone, they'd probably forget about this. It's true this envelope had no sender written on it. However, the seal done on it in gold leaf fulfills the same purpose. The seal is. Lambda Delta hid behind a pillar, ripped the envelope open, took out its contents and read them. Her eyes instantly started to glint, and she smiled like a kid who's just thought of a nasty trick. What is to be done? The sniper team is currently carrying red warheads. I will give you your permission, if you give your permission, I will give the order to load them. What are you talking about? Do you realize how important these guests are? If a stray bullet hits one of these attendants, all the new Chester sisters will be sent straight from the factory to the guillotine for the next 10 years. Understood. We will intercept with regular warheads. Shall we post watches around the Seven Sisters of Purgatory? Why would we need those? After all, the 7 stakes are battlers, and now Erica's furniture. Why would we post watches around our allies? Just make sure security is nice and tight. Just now, we received a recommendation from Assistant Inquisitor Gertrude, suggesting we make preparations for battle. Her reasons are unknown. From Gertrude? Then follow that recommendation. A party's more fun once you liven things up. Understood. 00 calling Chester 17, Chester 38, Chester 45. Code R, be on your guards. Transmitting level 2 alert. 17, copy. 38, copy. 45, understood. It'd have been so much cooler if you said copy too, yeah? I just got nervous. Alright. 45, come over here a second. What is it? Hey, we're on the job. Stop, don't play with my ears. Your ears. Better fold them down, yeah? What did you say? You're kidding, right? That's impossible. Cornelia's heading there now. The odds of Beatrice attacking here are extremely high. I'd recommend suspending the reception and evacuating. What's going on, Erica? Something's gone wrong with the entertainment? No, my master, please continue to enjoy the reception. Hey, somebody, let's get Lady Birkenstock more dried plum wine. Erica didn't have time to hide her agitation. When Birkenstock saw this, she knew their final late guest had finally arrived. Lucina, I hear there's been some movement in the guest house. The guest house? Who cares about the game board now? Well, they're saying Caddington disappeared from the cousin room. What? Are you a moron? The cousin room is a perfect closed room with the door and the windows perfectly sealed. It's impossible for him to escape. No, I've been snooping around as well. There's no mistake. Caddington disappeared from the cousin room. He's probably hiding somewhere in the cousin room. Or else he's managed to trick everyone since the beginning and was never in the room to begin with. That's impossible. It's been guaranteed that everyone is in the cousin room except the specific names Lady Erica read aloud back then. It's impossible for him to trick his way out of there. How did he get past the Jungfrau seal barrier? No, first off, where on earth is Cannon? Find him at once! Yeah, the reception TJ, though, was really raking it in, eh? At that moment, the cathedral suddenly went black. The surprised commotion of the guests filled the cathedral. She's here. 00 calling all Chesters. Code R, alert. Chester 17, can you repair the electrical systems? Negative. Communications with the management staff have been severed. All Chester sisters, code red. Rock and roll. Copy. 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 Understood. Copy. Sniper teams and the chandeliers all released their safeties at once. The entire security team down the hall loaded their ammunition. Lady Erica, let us evacuate to the waiting room. It is dangerous here. What's dangerous? I'm the territory lord of this world. Why should I have to run away in fear? Gertrude, set up a VIP guard barrier. Call Cornelia back here at once. Yes, executing. Barrier? I need to be wrapped in one of your pitiful, pathetic barriers while I'm wearing a wedding dress? How insulting. This disturbance made even Badler groan as he sat in the next seat over like a doll. Ugh. Even with the soul sealed, Badler probably realized something strange was going on. She's late. Right, Lambda? Totally. She sure kept us waiting. What was that just now? A love letter from someone? A fan letter. From the Lambda-chan fan club. Lambda Delta played dumb and munched some popcorn. Then the lights finally turned on. It was clear that during the blackout, Beatrice had snuck in somewhere nearby, possibly even inside the cathedral itself. The Whispering Demon attendants all realized it as well. Whose scheme was this and what were they doing? Though it may have been imprudence, they were looking forward to this, and excited chatter filled the cathedral. Looks like she came. Gop, they let you come back too? Come on, putting me in jail's pointless. True. But Rish, Badler's closed room, the cousin room, and even the final possibility, the next room over, have all been sealed. How are you planning to save Badler? Let us suppose that Milady has found some trick X. If so, she would inevitably come to march in here to thrust that in Lady Erica's face. But against all these Chester troops, I can't believe this many of them are hiding here. It's impossible. She'll be sewn to death. Rabbit ears dashed all about the hall. Incredible she could remain hidden and unnoticed with so many people around. If she could just get close enough to challenge Erica, she should be able to get herself an even fight. I see, that move. However, does Milady have that item with her? She always complains and dislikes it when I prepare them for her. My, she's a troublesome one to the end. Amid the crowd, Ronov took something out and showed it. When Vergilia saw, she understood what that in his hand meant. True, with that, it should be possible to stop the attacks from the Chester troops. Well, if it doesn't work on Erica, we're through. The problem is getting her right in front of Erica, if only for a second. The Chesters will probably prevent that with all they have. Leah, do you think you could gain her that time? Vergilia gave a small nod. However, the problem were the two Chester troops standing in her back. Since the time she tried to jump out in front of the procession, she'd been marked constantly. It was possible with Vergilia's vast magical power to momentarily take out all the Chester troops in the cathedral. That would only gain a short bit of time, but it would be enough to confront Erica. The Chester troops knew this, so they kept a close eye on Vergilia with tense faces. At that moment, the great cathedral door was blasted to bits. The fragments became bright gold butterflies, which danced across the room in a beautiful blizzard of gold leaf. That golden storm slowly faded away. Then, at the entrance to that red-carpeted path to the grave, a calm, majestic figure was. Guards, shoot to kill! Negative, conducting identity comparison. Delano ordered the guards to shoot the intruder right away, but Chester 00 didn't respond. Was it because she had been warned about shooting the guests? And was afraid of the consequences of possibly shooting a drunk guest pulling some sort of prank? Forte! Welcome to the stream! Thank you so much for coming by! Welcome to the raid! Thank you so much for entrusting me with all your viewers. Hey, Old Soul Rathiel, Sci-Fi Baby Seal, Fred, Zelsi, welcome to the stream. Hey everyone. Well, thank you for giving him the shout out. Did you have a good stream? What were you playing? I hope you had a good one. Thank you so much for coming by. You guys should go check out Forte when you get a chance. He's a cool lion tactician VTuber. He loves things like Fire Emblem as well. He also is very knowledgeable in things like restaurants and bartending as well, I believe. Bartending? Am I getting you confused with Kip now? Definitely restaurant though. He's really cool, chill guy. He likes a lot of games that I enjoy too. He loves Blaze Blue as well. He likes Fire Emblem. What more do you need? Go follow Forte when you get a chance. Oh right, you were playing Darkest Dungeon. Oh awesome. Am I dead yet? Am I alive? You're upgrading me next stream? Nice. I will be the best enmity tank you have ever had. Thank you. I'm Kiro, the frog-loving martial artist. We are playing Umineko, episode 6. We are right at the climax at the end, so you guys came at just the perfect time. Thank you for coming by. Feel free to sit back and relax. Oh, Sai, thank you so much for following me. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being a froggy friend. You appreciate the question, am I dead yet? Hey Zelsi, thank you as well for being a froggy friend. No, 00 was just coolly and calmly carrying out their duties. Oh, Rathiel, thank you as well for being a froggy friend. I appreciate it. Thank you everyone. Love you guys. Oh, what a surprise. And I thought you weren't going to make it. The pair faced each other from either side of the long red carpet. However, in between them stood several dozen Chester honor guards. It took you quite some time to come here, most honored guest. You had us all quite worried. But I'm glad you managed to make it to the reception at least. Huh. Ito laughed. That chuckle made Badler's eyes quiver slightly. You... Did I keep you waiting, Fruto Erica? I'm here to celebrate. She had an overpowering and evil presence about her, strong enough to make anyone shiver. Was there really any need to confirm her identity now? Thanks for coming, Rathiel. Hope you have a good sleep. Who else could possess such an overwhelming presence? Beatrice? Let us meet again in hell is a favorite parting line of mine, but... Identity confirmed. It is the great Lady Beatrice. This time it really did happen. Fruto, Erica. At that moment, the two Chester troops standing behind Vergilia slumped over and fell to the floor. Ronov had touched the bases of their big ears from behind. It was clear he had applied some sort of magic. Someone find a doctor. These girls appear to be ill. All Chesters, open fire. Beetle now. Good night, Johan. Take care, good night. Just an instant before the Chester troops could fire, Vergilia raised her arms to the heavens. Her magical power, which was more than enough to remind all present what her name had meant at the height of her strength, became a spirit wave that exploded throughout the cathedral. Its shockwave made the stained glass windows shatter, and colorful glass shards poured down everywhere. Spirit particle warfare defenses, hurry on, repeat! However, all the Chester honor guards who didn't have spirit particle defenses toppled over like dolls. The ceiling snipers were defended and able to avoid a crash, but it would take several minutes before the system could be rebooted. That span of time should be enough to reach Erica. However, it wouldn't be possible to defeat Erica in just a few minutes. There was no way they'd be able to carry Battler away in that time. What else could they use in this precious time for? Mito dashed down the red carpeted path. She ran down the path to the grave, which was lined by Chester troops lying there like corpses. She had called this place Hell. In that case, running from Hell to the grave was actually going backwards. Mito's figure dashing through the corpse-ridden path truly symbolized her resurrection. Milady, take this! Got it. She snatched something white from Ronov's outstretched hand. There was no longer anyone blocking her path to Erica. However, at that instant, a golden thread came in from in front of her and rapidly sewed through the red carpet towards her like a sewing machine. Huh, we have a meddler. Reloading complete. Requesting data, yeah? Firing radar to targeted. Data linked to 410. 410 was clever. She had predicted Vergilia would go for a spirit particle attack and folded her ears and 45s over beforehand. So they were the only ones who weren't taken out. Firing! Once again, the golden sewing thread chased after Bito, weaving like a sewing machine. It was as though an undulating golden snake was shooting after her. Impudence! You mean to delay my precious showdown with Erica? Bito jumped sideways away from the red carpet, then dashed across the long table covered with beautiful food. The golden snake chased her, sewing through the pure white tablecloth like a sewing machine and scattering dishes left and right. The goat attendants ran about wildly trying to escape. The cathedral's wrapped in pandemonium. I can't believe some of those rabbits evaded the spirit particle attack. And this is bad. If they take up that position, there's nothing we could do. A pair of snipers attacking from the chandelier high above were much further away than Erica was, too far for Bito to reach. Furthermore, their position landed the entire cathedral inside their range of fire. Too bad, yeah, Beatrice-sama. The trials of love are harsh, yeah? 45, new magazine. You mean this? Gop handed her the magazine. 45 always handed them over backwards, so 410 was a bit confused to have one handed to her right way up. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Let go! Yeah, yeah. No matter how distant a position they might take, it was no problem for the elusive Gop. Gop twisted their long ears up, then tickled them with her thumbs. The Chester's greatest weapon was also their greatest weakness. The two doubled over with laughter. I've got these two. But how many seconds do we have left? The other Chesters will be reactivating. On the other chandeliers, even more powerful Chesters were starting to slowly move again. It would be impossible to buy any more time. Ah, Gop! Thanks, I'm in your debt. Don't forget to thank these guys, too. Bito, good luck, hang in there! You don't have much time. Erika! Bito cut through the crowd of scampering goats like Moses. Her goal was straight in front of her, the place where Erika and Battler were seated. Then a red barrier took form, blocking her path. It was the VIP guarding barrier that Gertrude set up. She stepped forward and laid out a last line of defense to block Bito's path. Let it be known you will not get any closer. Think a wall like that can stop me? How long until the Chesters reactivate? But within 30 seconds. As the oldest of the 7 sisters of Purgatory, Lucifer stood in waiting behind the bride and groom. She wanted to save Bito. If she could just distract Gertrude for a moment, the wall would disappear. However, the 7 sisters were furniture. They served the territory lord, so they couldn't move to help Bito. Delnor glanced over at Lucifer. There was a coercive tint to her eyes. You are not allowed to move, except by the orders of your master. Who's our master? It's Erika now, idiot. No, our master's Battler-sama. True, Erika only speaks on his behalf. That's right, One-sama, whose furniture are we? It's just too delicious. Let's dig in. The red absolute barrier flickered for just an instant. Beelzebub's stake had pierced Gertrude's shoulder, and her concentration wavered. But it didn't break. Slowly and expressionlessly, Gertrude turned to look at Lucifer. By whose orders? Know that Lady Erika has made no such order. We do have orders. The orders of our master. How can a master who cannot speak give orders? Even though he can't talk, understanding your master's will is a furniture's job. Then it cannot be helped. The 7 stakes shot at Gertrude at once. Gertrude had chosen to take all the direct attacks, refusing to abandon the barrier until the last moment. Though she was resilient enough to be called a literal Iron Maiden, and received no damage at all, it was more than enough to make her flinch and lose control of the barrier. Good work, my furniture. Bito shot through the scattered red fragments of the barrier, and she was finally right in front of the bride, her rival, Erika. However, there stood the final shield protecting Erika. Death sentence Delanor. You're too late. Time is already up, Lady Beatrice. Chester 17, data link to all Chesters. Incoming data from Archangel Satellite. Homing format verdict model conceptual guidance. Chester 20, reactivation complete. Chester 127, reactivation complete. Time's up, yeah. No, not there. No. Rish, good luck. Yeah. So. Delanor! Back off, Delanor Enox. This isn't your fight. I have received a red truth denying you from Lady Bernkastel. I am afraid that this will become your grave. I don't know what Bernkastel has allowed her to say. However, I don't need to sit around and let that longsword tell me. I'll play with you all you want later, but for now, back off. There's no time. The Chesters have already finished reactivating. I'm only living on a bit of borrowed time. You will be the one to retreat. You are the pitiable actor who has chosen the wrong time to make an appearance. Delnor's red longsword cut a large arc of absolute denial, which headed straight for the crown of Bito's head. However, in that instant, there was a thunk, and the curve missed slightly. Bito didn't let this good fortune go to waste. She slipped past the longsword, knocked Delnor aside, and finally stood right in front of Erika. This time, not a single person stood in her way. Ugh. This is... popcorn. Where did this come from? Urgent request from the bride's bodyguard team. Let the Chester Sisters Imperial Guards fire the intruder immediately. Commotion quieted. However, no one shot. But why? They could have shot if they wanted to. All the Chester troops had completely targeted her and removed their safeties. Of course, a lot of them finished reactivating. However, they hesitated to pull the trigger. Why aren't they shooting? Let the ceremony guards immediately. Wait. Look at that. Delnor's expression grew grim. Then she quietly put her red longsword away. After all, Erika would have to make a decision. If she decided to ignore it, they could shoot to kill. However, if Erika picked that up, they must not do so. So they couldn't pull the triggers until Erika decided. Why won't anyone shoot? Look closely. See what Beto just threw at Erika? Lambda Delta pointed, still chomping down on popcorn. It was hard to see from the balcony. Beto had thrown something like a white handkerchief at Erika. It had fallen to Erika's feet. What was that white thing? She really knows what she's doing, that girl. She knows what it means to be the main character. How interesting. The thing that hit Erika in the face and fallen to the floor was a white glove that Beto had gotten from Ronov. Hitting someone with a glove like that could only mean one thing. It was... Oh, Zepper, what's this? What does it mean? This is... a request for a duel! If she picks up the glove, it means she's accepted. And if she doesn't, the Chesters will shoot. Why would she pick it up? She doesn't have to. However, we and the demon attendants would probably spread the word far and wide that she dishonorably ran away from a duel. She would be known for eternity as a coward who ran away from a duel of love. Beatrice waited firmly and composedly. If Erika just kicked it away, then at that very instant, the Chesters would probably all fire at once, turning her into golden embroidery. So Erika didn't have to pick it up. However, she could not afford to be afraid of picking it up. After all, she was the true victor who had defeated Badler's closed room trick and logic. If she was the victor, she should have nothing to fear. So if she was afraid of doing it, it would prove she still felt a tinge of doubt about her victory. If I don't pick it up, I can kill you without getting these clothes dirty. That would probably liven up your reception. However, you will pick it up. Oh, and why is that? I've brought a wonderful gift just perfect for you. You want to know what it is, therefore you'll pick it up. Not interested, goodbye. You'll pick it up, I know. That you want to hear about the closed room I've brought you, which, unlike that trivial guest room of Badler's, is simple, basic, and absolutely cannot be solved. A closed room that absolutely cannot be solved. I know you want to accept my challenge. After all, you are the detective. Erika threw off her wedding dress as though it were a cape. Yes, before she is a bride or piece or witch, she is the one thing first and foremost. I am the detective. I acknowledge you as my opponent. However, are you qualified to participate in this game? Have you managed to fix the logic error? If you pick that glove up, I'll prove I fixed it in my fight against you. Good. Oh. The cathedral's filled with chatter. Erika had picked up the glove. A duel! A duel! The cathedral's wrapped in a bizarre excitement. At Erika's nod, Delnor pushed the crowd away, leaving the pair alone. People were permitted to witness this duel. However, no one would be allowed to interfere in any way. Ah. It's okay, Badler-san. I've already found a way to save you. How? I'm going to save you now. Please hang in there just a little longer. Vito's resolute expression returned and she grinned boldly, looking down on Erika. And there could be no doubt. That's the expression worn only by the Golden Witch, the presence of the master of closed rooms. A shadow dashed through the stormy rose garden. It was incredibly light and swift. The raindrops never touched him. He made no splashes in the countless puddles. His feet left no tracks in the mud. That rushing figure was Kennen. Then he ran up the stairs to the entrance of the mansion. He did not slow down in the slightest to open the door. He ran straight at it as though trying to break through and leapt into it. Though the door was shut, even that couldn't stop Kennen. He slipped through the door, fell into the entranceway, and slowly stood up. His body wasn't even wet. And as he recalled those nostalgic days spent serving the Ushimiya family, which would never come again, he ran once more. He was heading for Badler's guest room. He ran past the servant room, through the entrance hall, and past the door to the parlor. Then the doors to the kitchen and the dining hall came into sight. All that brings back fond memories. There was the honor and rigidity of serving Kinzo directly. However, that man wasn't rigid all the time. When the family was out of sight and he didn't have to preserve that air of majesty, his face could turn unbelievably childish, and he would sometimes ask me to take part in strange pranks. The master let me shoot tons of guns, didn't he? That was pretty fun. Cross-sama was actually surprisingly kind. He must have gotten the impression that the master bullied me a lot. Whenever I was the only one around, he would talk to me in a very familiar way, almost as though he was a classmate of mine. I so regret I held back and never did anything but nod in return. Madam was a really strict person. Ever since some rumor went around saying she was strict on female servants, but soft towards male servants, I get the feeling she viewed me as an enemy. However, she was also a woman to be pitied. When I've seen her alone, I've noticed her shoulders sag with the pain many times. There were a lot of servants who weren't there. Some lasted a short while, others stayed a long time. Genji-sama was the only one person I might call my father. I am both grateful and resentful towards him over many things. They all mix together, cancel out, and end up with a neutral emotion. In that case, Kumasawa-san could probably be called my mother. She's helped me out so many times. I've always wanted to repay her someday, and now I've lost that chance for all time. Shannon. It's my Nae-san. Without her, I wouldn't have been able to be me. Thanks for teaching me that the ocean is blue. Goda? I hate that guy. Still, when I complimented his stew, he would sometimes turn red and say it was enough for seconds. I didn't dislike that part of him. I wonder why such a strong memory popped up at the instant I ran past the dining hall. Poor Goda. And then, my memories of Jessica. Oh, it's a boy servant. How old are you? I think those were the first words she spoke to me. Come to think of it, she was probably interested in me ever since then. I really did have enough time to build up a love that wouldn't lose to George-sama and Shannon's. But since I could only see the gray sea, I wasted almost all of that time. What does she like about me? What do I like about her? I get the feeling we never really made that clear. No, she told me. We should have stayed together longer to eventually find that out. It would have been fine to find reasons for our love later. It took me far too long to realize that. Now I think I can accept it. I know why Shannon won that duel. God must have been watching. You had so much more courage than I did, and God didn't abandon you. I reached the hallway with the guest rooms. There was someone lying on the ground. It was Badler. He was lying just outside the guest room, a chain tied to his neck. He had probably struggled to do something with the chain lock from the outside until he lost consciousness. His fingernails on both hands had been torn off, and they were stained with blood. I could tell at a glance just how hard he'd tried until the final moment when his heart had died. The collar binding him wouldn't disappear unless the chain lock was set. Badler-sama. It's alright. I'm going to save you now. Badler responded faintly. He probably didn't even imagine help would come to this eternal closed room. He was so scared this might be an auditory hallucination, brought about by a fleeting delusion, that he couldn't bear to open his eyes easily. Cannon grabbed Battler by the arms and dragged him to the room. The inside of the room was terrible. The windows had been brutally shattered, and the wind and rain had made its way inside. All kinds of tools and furniture lay broken there. However, Battler hadn't smashed them out of rage. The curtain had been removed, torn and twisted up into a bundle. He had probably used trial and error to see if it could be used as a rope for some trick. He tried using everything in the room, exploring all possible options of escape. The traces could be seen throughout the room, and even in the bathroom. The empty bathtub was stained with just a bit of blood, and the nippers lay there at the bottom. To protect this tale, he had nearly been prepared to accept Berncastell's brutal method of escape, cutting himself into pieces and washing himself down the drain. He was even willing to tear apart his own body to protect the game the Bito had entrusted him with. He'd probably questioned himself over and over in this bathtub, wondering if there was any other way out. By the clock of the game world, not even a single day had passed. However, just how many years had it been in the closed room of logic error? When faced with an endless span of time, any way of ending it, no matter how cruel, is tempting. However, he had rejected that until the very end. And even in the last moment when his heart died, he had wanted so much to show his iron will to escape from this closed room, that he had chosen to fall here in the corridor, with a chain still around his neck. Battler-sama, it's Cannon. Please come to your senses. He wiped Battler's face with a towel wetted in the sink. In response to that cold sensation, Battler's heart slowly started beating again. It's you. Cannon-kun. Yes, it's me, Cannon. You did well to endure until today. Looks like I slept in. Just a little too much. Battler realized the feel of the towel on his neck meant the cursed collar and chain were gone. There's no longer anything binding you here. Come on. Please head back quickly. But... if I unset that chain lock, that chain will come back. Don't worry. No longer does any chain exist to bind you, Battler-sama. I will remain here. What did you say? By now, Battler knew the terror of his endless closed room better than anyone else. So he was more filled with shock than happiness. Shock at the determination of the one who was willing to become the new prisoner. Hey, dang, Cannon is the MVP. I'll be fine. There is no need to worry. But... Battler-sama, isn't there still something you have to do? Go back, quickly. There is someone fighting in your place. And there is someone waiting your turn. Will you not go back? The stern words and gaze shot straight through Battler. Are you sure? Yes. That will be fine. This way I can repay my debt from back then. Debt? Do you owe me something? You aren't the one I owe, Battler-sama. It's okay, so go. I don't like being indebted to others. Go quickly. You must not keep her waiting now. So hurry. Battler couldn't argue back anymore. He silently bowed his head, unset the chain, and opened the door. Cannon had remained in the room, so no chain appeared about Battler's neck. He could leave this closed room just by running out. The happy-sounding voices he heard at the far end of the corridor had been replaced with an excited chatter. There must have been some sort of strange disturbance going on. As Cannon went out into the corridor to see me off, the merciless collar and chain had already captured their new prisoner. He would remain inside this endless closed room in Battler's place. Cannon-kun, I feel the same. About what? I don't like keeping debts. I'll definitely repay you. And I'll do it soon. I hope I can count on that. Go on. Run. Run to the one you love. And please never get lost again. Adler didn't turn back again. He ran with everything he had. He ran out into the corridor whose warmth he had cursed so many times. That cursed chain no longer bound him. He ran to the very end of the corridor, beyond the light. Cannon, still connected to the chain, watched him go, then quietly returned to the guest room. Now he only had to worry about his own job. Stay in this room and fix the error in logic. Now, I set the chain lock. As soon as he set it, the chain disappeared from his neck. Then, if he hid in the one place Erica hadn't checked, the broken logic would be fixed. The closet door opened slowly. It was well oiled and opened without a sound. It was cramped inside and dark. This tiny space is the last place I'll see. As long as I remain hidden here, the logic will be preserved. Hey Sunflower, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for dropping by with a raid. I appreciate it. Hope you had a good stream. Thank you for entrusting me with your audience. You guys, make sure you go join us in following Sunflower when you get a chance. And thank you. I hope you had a good time. We are here at the end of Umineko episode 6. And I'm Kiro, the frog-loving martial artist. That's an easy job. Easier than caring for the roses. Hey Vivarum, welcome to the stream too. Welcome. Cannon went in and closed the double doors from the inside. As soon as he did, a single small gold butterfly appeared, melted into the darkness of the closet, and vanished. It was a sign the logic had been fixed. The witch's game had already stopped, and the clock of the world of pieces would never tick again. So, for all eternity, no one would come to save him from this place. That's okay. This way I've paid back my debt. Beatrice. The power of the gold butterfly brooch taught me about love. In the third game, it gave me some quiet time alone with Jessica. I get the feeling it did many other small things for me. At any rate, I've paid back all my debts now. Now, all of my debts are... that music tape Jessica lent me. I never gave that back, did I? That's okay, isn't it, Jessica? I liked that one. Can I accept that as a present? You want me to dub over it and hand it back? Slowly, Cannon's body began to melt into a cloud of gold butterflies. And after the inside of the cramped, dark closet glittered like a golden planetarium. It faded away with the lights of fireflies and was painted over by pitch blackness. For all eternity. Dang, that music really gets to you. In the cathedral, the gold attendants were all jostling around on either side of the red carpet. On the red carpet, standing across from each other, were Bito and Erica. In their hands were the pistols given to them by Zephyr and Furfur. Flintlocks, are they? How old-fashioned. Pay it no mind. Demons are very particular about style. Its form was similar to an actual old-fashioned gun, but this was of course a demon's gun. This wasn't a gun that would propel a lead bullet with an explosion caused by gunpowder. Like the pistols used in the duel between Shannon and Cannon, whose bullets had contained a magic that would always kill, these pistols also had bullets that were not made of lead. Hito. There's no need to worry. She'll win easily and you have to deal with her insults again, Leah. When this match is over, we should ask to be paid every now and then. After the fight ends, perhaps the occasional trip down to the Caribbean would be satisfactory. Enough talk about when the fight is over. That's an ill omen before a duel. Bito, take this seriously. There's no time to be standing around laughing. Why is Reach relaxed and Leah tense? Come on. Beatrice-sama, you can do it. Beatrice-sama is at a disadvantage in this duel. Why? Normally, witches are able to use strength in numbers to achieve victory. However, since the game has been suspended, she has nothing on her side, except a riddle of Balor-sama's guest room. If Erika could just strike a blue wedge through that one riddle, it'll mean she's solved everything. They can win. I believe in Beatrice-sama. And Balor-sama. Our two masters. Did you call me? Thanks. Huh? For once, it feels as though our chances of winning are 50-50, so I'd like to thank you beforehand. It is simply my job. There is no need to thank me. In the last game, when you protected me after I lost pathetically, I was happy. That was the first time in my life anyone has ever protected me. Even my master has never done so. All she has given me is a way to cancel out my pain by exposing the truth of others, so that everyone ends up hurting each other. Please forgive my arrogance. I felt that I needed to protect you when I realized what a frail truth you live by, when I saw you being tormented by the tyranny of a mixture of truth and lies that seemed more plausible. I wanted to protect you. Thank you. It wasn't for long, but you were a wonderful partner. And will remain so. You're right. Once we defeated her, let's make tons of mysteries on this island together. I'll have you solve them and cheese you as we play. How does that sound? I like it. I look forward to your challenge. Sorry, that's a lie. I take it back. That'd be one of those loser flags, wouldn't it? Now, are you ready, duelists? When the two demons clap their hands, the duelists instantly return to their bold, tense smiles. The bullets within those magic guns are not lead. They are bullets of red and blue truth for the battle between mystery and fantasy. As long as you possess truth, your bullets are endless. However, being hit by a single one means instant death. Are you both prepared? Certainly. Oh, thanks for calling Kirby Lork. Of course. Lady Lambda Delta, O great and powerful witch of certainty, and member of the glorious Senate, please come forward. Will you swear to oversee this duel? Of course. I swear it. The crowd split and Lambda walked forward with Kirostyle by her side. She looked between the faces of the two duelists. Then she took out an envelope with a seal of the one-winged eagle and lifted it high. Beatrice has sent me her revisions to the tale inside a sealed envelope. After inspecting it, I find its contents to be valid. I proclaim that logic error has been avoided. The chain lock is still set, and without any contradictions with any red truth made up to this point. Kirby's a better witness than Lambda. You're right. The many goat attendants knew the details of Balor's closed room. They realized how difficult it was. And though fiery debates had swept across the crowd during the reception, no one had been able to find an answer. And now it was clear Beatrice had already reached one. Therefore, this duel is legitimate. It will center around one single point: the closed room of Balor's guest room. Balor disappeared from within a closed room sealed by a chain lock. Therefore, Erika has been armed with the blue truth. Beatrice has been armed with the red truth to counter back. The duel will continue until one side's victorious. Splendid. Perfect. Okay, well then, Bito, present your new revised tale and riddle to Erika. Cannon used magic to escape from the cousin room without breaking the seals. He reached the guest room and used magic to let Balor escape from that closed room. Huh, what a foolish tale. Very well. Erika, is there anything you wish to confirm? Repeat it. The one who rescued Balor was without a doubt Cannon. Very well. The one who rescued Balor was without a doubt Cannon. Repeat it. Balor and Cannon are different people. I'll say it. Balor and Cannon are different people. Huh. That's enough. Erica, are you done confirming things? That was all I needed. I've already decided how to fight. Okay, let both sides load their bullets. Erica turned around, pressed her finger against the barrel of the pistol, made her Bluetooth into a bullet and pushed it in. There was no rule saying she had to turn away, but she didn't want her expression to be read. Or it might have been because she couldn't stand the tension of looking at Bito's bold smile. Bito had already finished loading her red truth. She waited for Erica to finish while calmly puffing on her pipe. Then she looked at Battler, who sat on the throne of the Territory Lord, right next to the two witches who were here as witnesses. Battler's consciousness was still hazy. However, he apparently understood that Bito had come to duel for his sake, so he could be saved. It was all he could do just to look at Bito with those sluggish eyes. But a flood of emotions passed between them. There was no need for words. A look was enough for them now. How do you think she plans to fight with the second window off limits? I guess we're going to have to see. Erica closed her eyes tightly, her fingers still pressed up against the barrel. Your head hurts? Yeah, I understand. If you've been following along, your head should be hurting. At that moment, her stunning powers of concentration made all the distractions of the outside world disappear. Good. It's always been like this, but my concentration is really good. Are you ready, me? Fruto Erica? First, lay out the situation. Battler disappeared from that closed room. The chain lock is set. Did he disappear by magic? Of course not. There has to be a trick. Cannon didn't save him with magic. He just came, took Battler's place, and set the chain. Everyone knows that much. The problem is the next step. No, it's actually a step before that one. Cannon was in the cousin room in the guest house. That room was completely sealed with packing tape, and it's been proven the seal was intact until the time of logic error. In other words, Cannon escaped from a closed room that was absolute, with no chance for excuses or twisted logic. Good. This is why she called it a simple yet ultimate closed room. How did he escape from the perfect closed room known as the cousin room? If I got stuck thinking about that one question, I'd be no better than your average kid detective. That room is a perfect closed room, so there is no way to escape. In other words, trying to think of ways to escape from there is a waste of time. The real question is how Cannon was somewhere outside the cousin room when it was sealed. The cousin room is a completely sealed can. If he was in there when it was sealed, it's already game over. In other words, at the time the cousin room was sealed, he wasn't inside it anymore. Let's look at the time I checked everyone's locations and sealed the rooms. That's the most suspicious part. At that time, we have 5 people in the next room over, whom I confirmed with my own eyes. Hideyoshi, George, Kumasawa, Shannon, and Nanjo. I mentioned the names of those 5 people during the location check, and confirmed they were in the next room over. Then I checked to see whether everyone else was in the cousin room, and had that confirmed for me as well. I said everyone else, so whether he was Cannon or Yoshia or even Puru Piku Man, they all should have been sealed in the cousin room. It seems perfect as a glance. However, though that phrase everyone else seems perfect, it's fishy. Strictly speaking, everyone else refers to all humans whose names I did not mention directly. In other words, there are exceptions. For example, it's been confirmed that Hideyoshi and George were in the next room over, so humans with the name Hideyoshi or George don't need to be inside the cousin room. It seems that Cannon told Jessica's real name was Yoshia, but that was no red truth. In other words, what if Cannon's real name is the same as one of those in the next room over? They seem to be about the same age, so let's use George. So what if there were 2 Georges in that room? It doesn't violate the red truth saying Hideyoshi, George, Kumasawa, Shannon, and Nanjo are in the next room over. Let's say Cannon's real name was Tanaka George. But both Yushime George and Tanaka George could exist in that room at the same time. In other words, there were 6 humans with 5 names. It looked to my eyes as though there were only 5 people in the next room over, but a 6th person Cannon was hiding somewhere. I don't have the detective's authority, so it wouldn't be that difficult for him to fool my eyes and hide. I see, the double name trick. Stupid, so stupid. Alright, I've made my logic. Cannon, who was hiding in the next room over, not the cousin room left by the window after the seals were placed. Ow! The gun had fired and the tip of my finger was stained with blood. The Bluetooth gunpowder had exploded. Ah. Damn it. I've already had Delnor seal that one. Blue Truth arguing about the window the next room over is forbidden. So I can't use it. Oh, an accidental discharge. Careful now, guns can be dangerous. Shut up. It's just a little mistake. The window of the next room over. You sealed it with some absurd trick, right? Gop told me. Is that so? And so what? Delnor, remove that foolish seal. That seal has become your shackles. Vito figured out everything I've been thinking. She's acting so confident, telling me to go ahead and use that argument. Lady Erica. Please remove it. That fool. I'll make her regret this. It seems you're ready, duelists. Please face each other with your pistols. Then fire with the sparks of truth. After facing away and readying herself one last time, Erica spun around. Vito had been facing her since the beginning. She wore a confident, challenging smile as if she'd been kept waiting. Then, without any signal, the two slowly raised their guns, pointing the red and blue glints that hid within their barrels at each other. Come, I could do with a little fun. Begin! First is how Cannon escaped from the cousin room. I'll use that as my bullet. Oh, so you'll start from there. Let's have it. Hold nothing back. Here I go. After holding the gun high and pointing at Vito once more, Erica pulled the trigger with statements of red and blue truth. Hey Kua, welcome to the stream! The cousin room is guaranteed to be a perfect closed room until the end, so if Cannon really was in this room, it would be impossible for him to escape. In other words, Cannon was not in that room at the time it was sealed. The name Cannon is an alias. His real name is still unknown. If his real name happens to be the same name as someone in the next room over, that wouldn't contradict the check on who was in that room. In other words, it's possible for him to be in the next room over and not the cousin room. The goat attendants chattered and clapped their hands, thinking, yes, such a move would work. I love watching this. I love being surrounded by this chatter. After all, I am the detective. It is true the next room over was sealed, but at the same time, the logic error, only the doors were checked to see whether the seals were preserved. Therefore, there is a chance the window seals were broken. Cannon was in the next room over and escaped through that window. That is all. Any other theory would be impossible. If this doesn't work, then there's no truth left. As soon as she said that is all, both of them fired at the same time. After the blast rang out, it was Erica's gun that fell to the floor. Vito's red bullet knocked Erica's gun from her hands. Was it arrogance or confidence? If she had just aimed that bullet at Erica's heart, the whole thing would have been over. Vito had missed on purpose. There was a bold smile on her face. It was as though she was offering to play with Erica a little longer. No, that's exactly what made her Vito. Beatrice the witch who mocks others with unsolvable closed room tricks. At the time the next room was sealed, Hideyoshi, George, Kumasawa, Shannon, and Nanja were all in it, and the number of people in the next room over was 5. No one existed there except for those to whom those 5 names refer, and all people could only go by their own names. It was a thoroughly merciless red truth. It was simple and severe. Now that the number of people had been limited to 5, any leeway for Cannon hiding there had been completely denied. Also, it was now clear that the only people holding those 5 names existed within the room. Erica couldn't even make a new theory by suggesting one person held 2 names, so the 5 names referred to only 4 people, which would let an unnamed Cannon sneak in. Which again, that's really crafty as well. Furthermore, the part about how people could only use their own names was a fatal blow that cut down countless theories. Come to think of it, you've only ever met the half-sleeping me from the previous game, haven't you? What do you think, Erica? How do you like the game of the Golden Witch? That's insane! Are you saying the Cannon slipped out of the room by magic? Ugh. More importantly, why did you just knock my gun away? The human side must crush all the witch's riddles, whereas the witch side need only crush the human side's theories once. Don't you find that unfair? So I decided to have it be even. Even? I decided I'll make my victory condition the destruction of all your theories. I've won the riddle of Cannon's escape, but there's one more. Let's return to the first battleground where you gave Balor so much trouble. When Beetle snapped her fingers, that guest room of Balor's was reconstructed. She meant to fight once more in the room that had threatened Balor with a logic error, determined to settle things once and for all. Erica, pick up your gun. We'll have this room be your coffin. I say the same to you. I'll make you regret ever giving me this chance. Witness, allow Erica to use X. X? You mean a basis that doesn't need to be explained? What are you gonna let her do? Let's give Erica permission to use Bluetooth for Canon and this guest room trick, without making her explain how he escaped from this closed room. A theory explaining how Canon saved Balor would also need to explain how Canon escaped from his own closed room, or it would have no basis. Erica had already lost that basis. Vito was giving her a handicap by saying she didn't need to explain that part. Of course, you've already used the red truth to guarantee Canon saved Balor. It's only natural I'd be given this privilege. Erica faced away and concentrated even harder. As though twisting the knob on a radio, she turned all noise and idle thoughts down to zero. Let's go, Fruto Erica. Detective Fruto Erica. As long as Canon reaches this place, rescuing Balor isn't hard. The trick is as follows. Canon used some kind of escape trick X to reach the front of the guest room. While I was busy in the bathroom, Balor left the closet. Balor undid the chain lock. Balor went outside. Canon entered in his place. Canon said the chain lock. Canon went into the closet. The end. This satisfied the two red truths about the chain lock being set and Balor's absence. In exchange for this escape trick, Canon remains inside the guest room. There's no room for an argument on how tightly this room can act as a closed room. That chain is cursed. In this demonic closed room, one person must remain as a sacrifice for it to be acceptable. However, is such a simple theory really enough? The rescuer switched places with him. Then the rescuer hid in the closet. No other sort of theory is possible. Yeah, Erica definitely has that type of laugh. If you ever get a chance to watch a YouTube video of the actual Japanese voice version of this, Erica's voice actress does such a good job giving her evil voices, laughing, or during yesterday's stream when Erica was slurring her words, she does such a good job. And yet Vito thinks she can win. In that case, does any other trick exists? It's impossible. I swear on the history of the mystery genre, there's absolutely, definitely, categorically no other way. But if I give in here, I couldn't call myself a detective. Consider it, imagine, don't stop thinking. That's how you drive blue wedges into witches. What can I expect to see is, yes, a wordplay trick. It can only be some kind of wordplay that just barely slips through the net of words spoken in red. In that case, I'll crush all possibilities. I'll have them repeat line after line. This final duel has already begun, even though we haven't pulled our triggers yet. Repeat it. At the time Balor was rescued, only Canon entered the guest room. I acknowledge it. At the time Balor was rescued, only Canon entered the guest room. I believe that was the whole point. Repeat it. From the time I entered the guest room to the time of the logic error, Balor, Canon, and I were the only ones who entered or exited the room. I acknowledge it. From the time you entered the room to the time of the logic error, you, Balor, and Canon were the only ones who went in or out of the guest room. Repeat it. This refers to 3 people. I acknowledge it. It refers to 3 people. You, Balor, and Canon. Confirming definition. Can I assume that when you say 3 people, that's equal to the number of bodies? You're saying 3 bodies went in or out of the room, right? I've had enough of things being mixed about what names and number of people. I want this point to be clear. Of course, 3 people, in other words 3 bodies, went in or out. Only you and Canon entered and only Balor left. It has already been said in red that all people can only use their own names. Therefore the names Erica, Balor, and Canon can only be used by those people. Repeat it! I am not the rescuer. Of course. You are the detective, are you not? Don't worry, I will respect that. Confirming definition. How do you define rescuer? This is also important. I want to quickly remove the possibility I rescued him accidentally. I'll define rescuer to mean any person who reset the chain lock after Balor unset it. this definition applies whether said person intended to rescue Battler or not. Since she said after Battler unset the chain lock, it's impossible for this to have occurred before I set foot in the room. From that point on, I won't undo the chain again for all eternity. After all, this game was suspended at the point. Therefore, it was impossible for me to have been the rescuer accidentally. I can focus even more. The chain lock can only be set from the inside. It's impossible for a person to escape on their own. Therefore, we know Battler didn't escape by himself. And I'm not the rescuer. Only Canon can be the rescuer. And Bito has already said Canon is the rescuer with the red truth. There's nothing to doubt. There's no room for anyone but Canon to be involved. At least so far. Repeat it. Going in or out refers to when someone crosses the boundary between the guest room and the area outside it. I acknowledge it. Repeat it. By the guest room, we're referring to the entirety of the bedroom, the bathroom, and the closet. I acknowledge it. I have no intention of wriggling out of this by saying the closet isn't part of the guest room. Confirming definition. The inside of the guest room is divided into 3 sections: the bedroom, the bathroom, and the closet. I also recognize it as such. Furthermore, you have already confirmed with the red truth that 2 of those sections, the bedroom and the bathroom, had no one hiding in them. Repeat it. There is someone in the closet. I refuse. Why is that? Because Canon is hiding there? Canon can use magic. It's true he hid himself in the closet for a time, but he then immediately vanished with his magic. So there is no one in the closet. I cannot respond. I ask you to repeat it once more. Fool, the witch side has no obligation to explain how they did things with magic. No, it's completely obvious. There's no way she could say Ken disappeared with magic using the red truth. After all, magic doesn't exist. But is this enough? I've gone through every last minor detail, and yet there's an uncanny lack of dubious points. I can't think of any other way around the theory I've had since the beginning. Canon must be in the closet. He has to be. There's no way he isn't. I'll say it again. This closed room could only be escaped from switching places with a rescuer. If Canon tried to escape as well, another rescuer would be needed. However, no rescuer exists for Canon. Battler escapes, so it's impossible for it to be him. And I won't undo the chain for all eternity. The people who have gone in and out of the room have been confirmed, both by name and the number of people. At this rate, my theory is set in stone. First, here are the details of the situation that are certain. The game ended when I was inside the guest room, so I did not undo the chain lock I had previously set. So it can't be that he escaped after I left the room. Furthermore, the chain lock was set in the same time I entered the room. No one could have left the room during the few seconds between the time I entered and the time I set the chain lock. The guest room was sealed at the time Battler's corpse was examined, so until I came in and broke the seal, it was absolutely impossible for anyone to go in or out. Therefore, when I entered the room, it is certain Battler was hiding somewhere inside the guest room. The only chance Battler had to escape was after I broke the seals. To be even more specific, he had no chance to escape except for the time I was in the bathroom. By the above premises, Battler's trick to escape with a chain still set is as follows. Because of the aforementioned reasons, the only one who could have set the chain lock, which can only be set from the inside and allowed Battler's escape, is Canon, the only person to enter the room except for me and Battler. After Canon entered the room, he set the chain, hid in the one place he could hide inside the guest room, the closet. Whoa, that was close. They almost got me. They almost tricked me. I thought I'd cornered him in the closet. It's the opposite. They're trying to make me think he's in the closet. What was the order which I searched the guest room? First, the bedroom. We confirmed with the red truth there was nothing there. Then the bathroom. We confirmed with the red that there was nothing there. That's right. That's right there. When I examined the bedroom, there was nothing there. However, when I investigated the bathroom, Canon slipped out of the closet and hid again inside the bedroom. In other words, my guarantee that no one was in the bedroom was torn apart during the span of 1 minute. I've spotted it. This is the witch's trap, an attempt to lure me into thinking Canon's in the closet. The place he's really hiding is the bedroom. I found it. I finally found your trick. that was a close one. If I'd been one step slower, I'd have said there was nowhere to hide except the closet. And then she'd just say the closet was empty. No way. It works the same way in reverse. I see, now I get it. It's a logic switching trick. Damn that Bito. So in resolving the logic error, she's discovered the strange trick. If only I'd noticed the closet, she'll have Canon hide inside the bed. And if I only noticed the bed, she'll have Canon hide in the closet. Even though either one would be right, I'd lose no matter which I choose. Unless I expose both at the same time, I can't checkmate her. Incredible. I've never heard of such an unfair trick. If it was sleight of hand, it'd just be a cheap one. If it was a mystery, it'd just be cheating. However, in this witch's game, it's legitimate. Logic trick. In chess, it'd be called a double check. No, a discovered attack. Or wait, would it be discovered double checkmate? Even though this sort of logic would be foul in the mystery genre, in this world where witches and mystery war, it's such a refined board layout. This beautiful placement of the black pieces that quartered my white king felt almost like an art. So beautiful that if I were a god in some old legend, I might wish to stick it in the sky as a constellation. That beauty even brought tears to my eyes. For the first time, I felt honored at being allowed to participate in this game of truth and witches as a human. And ironically, it taught me, the one who had always believed in a single truth, that there isn't necessarily just one. Again, this is a very important, recurring theme about magic in the world of Umineko. In a world where there isn't a single truth, there isn't always just one. If I just broaden my perspective, I could see completely different truths. And though each of those truths are true, they're incomplete if they're all you can see. In my life until now, just how many truths have I missed because I was blinded by some trivial truth? This is the true nature of the world. Because of our arrogance in thinking only one truth exists, whenever we find one truth, we get blinded to others. Thank you, Beatrice-san. I never thought that I would learn the true nature of this world from a witch. Slowly, with a soft and quiet gesture, like a flower opening with the morning dew dripping down its side, Erika raised her gun. It's my victory. I've seen through your double check. Then come. Badler's guest room disappearance trick is as follows. While I searched the room, Badler was hiding in the closet. Then during the disturbance in the bathroom, he unset the chain and escaped from the room. At that time, Cannon was waiting for him in the hallway. Cannon entered the guest room in his place and set the chain. This is the trick to Badler's disappearance. And afterwards, he hid in the bedroom. This happened after I checked to see that there was no one unexpected in the bedroom, so it's valid. In this way, Cannon the rescuer concealed himself in the bedroom. Erika's blue bullet flew in a straight arc, becoming a wedge of the blue truth, and pierced straight down the bed and the floor beneath. Bito didn't pull her trigger. However, she did quietly argue back with the red truth. Cannon does not exist in the bedroom. Ooh, the goat attendants gasped. Erika had apparently been defeated, denied by the red truth. For the goats who couldn't see more than a single truth, it probably looks like I've lost. Next up is the real one. This is the answer from a human capable of understanding multiple truths. It looks like the tale of illusions will end on the second twilight. So why don't I carry out the remaining twilights and open the door to the Golden Land? If you are to disappear, then it should be surrounded by your golden roses. The fires of blue truth sparked at Erika's feet, and she loaded a blue truth bullet once more. That overflowing blue power was now making her entire gun burn with a blue flame. She wasn't aiming for Bito. She was aiming behind Bito. At the closet. Now that the bedroom has been denied, you have nowhere left to run. Die, Cannon! 5 wedges of blue truth she released shot right past Bito's cheeks, hair, and shoulders. Then pin-cushioned the door to the closet to gouge whatever human was inside to death. 5 wedges slammed in the door in a vertical line. In other words, on the 4th twilight, gouge the head and kill. Hey Fate, welcome to the stream! Thank you so much for stopping by, good to see you. On the 5th twilight, gouge the chest and kill. On the 6th twilight, on the 7th twilight, on the 8th twilight, gouge and kill and kill and kill. After being gouged by so many thick and sharp wedges, the human inside wouldn't stand a chance. Here's the truth I've exposed. That is all. She proclaimed she had finished. The 5 blue wedges piercing the closet disappeared. However, the many large splintered holes left behind showed that it had indeed been pierced. Then, as though this completed the ceremony that led to the Golden Land, the room that had been created around them became countless golden flower petals and drifted away. By now, the duelists in the crowd of attendants were surrounded by the golden rose garden of the Golden Land. However, the closet behind Bito remained. It stood there all by itself like a coffin. Then, as though teased open by a dreary wind, the whole covered closet door slowly opened. Inside was a human figure. That figure was covered up to the head by what appeared to be a grayish robe. Of course, that also had large holes showing it had been stabbed into. Eventually, it became clear this was not a robe, but a raincoat. If he had rushed here from the guest house, then there would be nothing strange about him wearing this into the guest room. Then, with a rustle, the raincoat lost its human shape, crumpled, and became a cloud of gold butterflies and disappeared. What the? Inside the coffin of the closet, nothing remained except an empty darkness. Canon does not exist in the guest room. Of course, this includes all parts of the closet, the bedroom, and the bathroom. Canon really was just 3 butterflies in a trench coat the whole time. Canon let Battler escape and hid in the closet. Then he used magic to disappear. This is the witch's truth. That is all. This fight is over. Say no. And the winner is Beatrice. Ooh. The attendants let out a cheer. Virgilia's group couldn't help but scream and shout in joy. The 7 sisters jumped about in celebration. Then, at the same moment, the 2 demons proclaimed Beatrice's victory. The head's ring worn by Erica, who was slowly crumpling to the ground, and the cursed ring on Battler's finger both burst. At the same time, Battler coughed violently. Battler was starting to regain consciousness. Battler! Battler's son! Bito latched onto the coughing Battler in joy. Then Virgilia, Gop, and Ronov did the same. All the 7 sisters also crowded about him in delight. What a nasty trick. Are you sure something like this will count? With a trick like this one, those humans will start complaining about how this is no mystery. Again, I guess this is... In this case, Battler says the humans, he's referring to us readers, because they did not tell the readers the trick. We still need to figure it out. No, it was a splendid trick. People without love cannot see it. Battler-san. Battler-san. Lady Erica! Lady Erica! Someone, help her, quickly! The rows of blood in Erica's chest wouldn't stop opening its petals. 3rd degree conceptual denial syndrome. Use of continuous neutralizer impossible. Neutralization only possible by emergency approval for resurrection. The piece's master must provide approval for resurrection. Lady Berncastel, give your approval for her resurrection. Lady Bernkastel, where did she go? Search request to ceremony guards. Find Lady Bernkastel. Understood. Alchester's data link. Search format. How cowardly to think someone's master wouldn't watch her pieces duel until the end. No, that is too far cowardly. Erica, who's being held by Delanor, had already realized her master was nowhere to be seen. But she didn't feel lonely. Yeah, Byrne did to Erica exactly what Byrne's master did to her. On the contrary, she was relieved she wouldn't need to be brutally scolded in the last moments of her life. Gods and demons, please pass on the story of her noble passing. Noble? Huh. The bad guy is supposed to die pathetically and make the main character look awesome. I'm not anyone's piece anymore. I can finally control my own role. Lady Erica, you mustn't move. Stand back. Stand back. When Erica yelled with all her soul, those who surrounded her were forced back on their butts. I am the Witch of Truth, Fruto Erica. The Witch of Truth is the witch who can withstand the truth. Now, I can finally accept the real truth about myself. The toxin of her own concept being denied raced through her. Her vision was already starting to blur. At the other end of her twisted range of vision were Badler and Bito, hugging each other and looking at her. Their expressions are firm. That's okay. Pity and sympathy would only make me look more pathetic. For a loser, that sort of expression is the best. Lady Erica, the duel is already over. It isn't. Not until the pair is separated by death. We won't let anyone disgrace her final moments. The two demons grabbed Eleanor's shoulders and held her back. Dripping blood, breathing heavily, and with an awkward gait, Erica walked towards Bito and Badler despite it all. As the blood dripped from her, it became golden flower petals which drifted away. So, as she walked, she looked both divine and beautiful. The duel wouldn't end until one of them died. So even though it had been settled, it hadn't ended. Bito and Badler told the people bunched around them to step back, and they both walked forward to face the noble loser. Erica. Congratulations on your resurrection. Looks like you have bad luck with women. You'll never get a decent one to like you. True. And I never fall in love with a decent woman. Bito. No, I ask this of both of you. You wish for one final clash. Erica. Very well. We are not so boorish as to refuse your noble request. Thank you. As her consciousness began to waver, Erica raised her gun again. She pointed it at the two of them. Bito also raised her gun to point at Erica. Then Badler placed his hand on hers. If it's already resolved, what more could there be to argue about? Erica-sama. Why? Is there nothing I can do? At a time like this? Watch until the end. That's your job as her friend, isn't it? Both sides silently loaded their bullets of truth without saying a word. The color packed into each barrel was red. So though neither side spoke, did they both know what trump card the other would use. Now, at the end, I'd like to finally introduce myself. What's she saying? This late into the game. No one could imagine the red truth Erica had loaded. So you guys gotta think back to episode 5 when they first introduced Erica. Think about how she came to the island. Bito, are you sure? Yes, I don't mind. I understand. She's Boatkin. You're not wrong. Let's at least pull the final trigger together. I know. Adler placed his hand on top of the finger that Bito had around the trigger. Adler-san, I'm glad I met you. We will be together for all eternity. You just had to flirt right in front of me. It's pissing me off. You know, I really can't stand teary farewell scenes. Yes, the bad guy really does need to wear this face at the very end. That's a nice look. Married life with you would probably been fun enough to make me vomit. Of course, I'd spin you around every day, locked up in a world of pleasure that make you forget Bito-san in an instant. Huh, it's 1,000 years too early for you to capture Badler's heart, little girl. You've never looked cuter than you do now. I guess both of us really do need to finish it this way. Come. This is Detective Furuto's final parting line and self-introduction. Erika spun in a magnificent and graceful rondo, scattering blood and golden flower petals around her as she raised her gun. Raymond! Welcome to the stream! Thank you so much for coming by! Oh, thank you so much for giving him the shout out too. I hope you had a good stream. Thank you so much for entrusting me with your audience. What were you streaming? If you guys haven't checked out Raymond, he's a really cool VTuber as well. He makes music. Really cool music at that, and his design is really, really nice. His design's made by Level Art. Amazing design. Oh, this is a vocal version of the track. Welcome, I'm Kiro, the frog-loving martial artist. We're at the ending of Umineko episode 6. Thank you so much for entrusting me with your audience and coming by. I hope you're able to sit back and relax. Erika spun in a magnificent and graceful rondo, scattering blood and golden flower petals around her as she raised her gun. Hi, pleased to meet you. Oh, you were editing photos and playing Mahjong Soul. Oh, fun. I hope you had a good time. Please go follow Raymond. Hi, pleased to meet you. I'm Furuto Erika, the detective. I may be an uninvited guest, but please welcome me. I'm the visitor, the 18th human on Rokenjima. Sorry, but even if you do join us, that makes 17 humans. Think about that for a second while we watch the credits. Yeah, Kinzo's already confirmed dead, so he doesn't count. So there's only 17 humans on the island, according to that red truth. Oh, is the music not going to loop? Okay, fine. So I'm just thinking like how, even like reading through this again, how impressed I am at the layers of logic, or twisted logic, as you might say, woven into this tale here, because, you know, they create that impossible closed room and the impossible closed room in the guest house, and yet like Erika was able to come up with a way around it with the double name theory. Denied that. She came up with the reverse, one person having two names. Instead, she switched it to one person holding, no, two people having the same name. That got denied. which would also be a very clever move. Then in the guest room, she comes up with the idea of the two truths at the same time. He's hiding both in the bed and the closet at the same time, which is also genius. And yet Beatrice still denies it, which means there's still yet another solution. And the fact that at the very end, when Balor and Beatrice denied her the existence of an extra person on the island is a direct dig at Erica, because remember, she was written in as basically Byrne Castell's Mary Sue, you know, like as if you're writing a fanfic, you write an extra character into the story who's good at everything and solves all the murders. That red truth just directly denies her existence. Erica, you never existed to begin with. You never entered our tale. Like, it's such a dig to her character. And I would say more about what that means, but I feel like it'd be a little spoilery. So I'll save it for the end of episode 8. But there's actually a double meaning to what they're saying there when they deny Erica. Because Erica is technically still a character, which means that she has a basis from somewhere. But I can't really tell you. You're gonna have to figure that part on your own. I don't remember how much of it they explain. I do know the ending already, because I've already read this visual novel all the way through, but that was like over 10 years ago, so it is a treat to go back through it, especially with you guys coming up with theories and ideas. But you might be wondering, you know, that seemed like a pretty conclusive ending, right? Why is there still an episode 7 and episode 8? I think at this point, the game has given you enough clues, you might be able to figure everything out. I know end of episode 4 was supposed to be end of the questions arc, but end of episode 6 is really where they give you like the biggest clue ever. Am I gonna play Chiconia When They Cry? I don't know, actually. We still have 2 more episodes of Umineko to go through, but I don't know. Chiconia, the premise of it doesn't really interest me that much. I know it's probably good because it was written by the same person, but again, committing to his novels are so long. If I do play it, I definitely won't be doing it on stream, unless it really captures my heart. Because it's just a lot to read. We've been reading Umineko for like 80 hours now. We started back in, what, November? October? So I don't think I want to do it like a stream series as long as this again, especially since it's purely just reading. I wouldn't mind if it was like gameplay, but it's been a journey. But I love Umineko so much. But think about that for a second. Like, Canon escaped from the guest house room and made it to Balor's guest room. He slipped in, let Balor out, hid himself in the closet, and then disappeared somehow. How did he do that? What kind of logic allowed him to do that? And you gotta think back to Zephyr and Furfur and all the clues they were giving about without love it cannot be seen, about the whole reason for the duel. Like, when the duel came up in the love trial in this game, or in this episode, I kind of scoffed. I was kind of like, well, that's silly. This is all very dumb. But then the way this episode wraps up, I was like, I'm starting to get it now. I think I understand what the game is trying to tell me. What's the core theme of this game? What is magic in the world of Umineko? Why can there be multiple truths at the same time? What is magic? What is truth? What are they trying to tell us? That's the core of what they're trying to tell you in this game. So yeah, like, don't worry. When we finish episode 8, I will explain everything. I'm not even sure if I might need to do a separate stream just for the explaining. Ruminate on that. Think about it. Episode 7 and 8 will give us more clues. I wouldn't say that they spell it out for you, but they give you like a lot more direct without telling you. It's kind of almost mean that they don't tell you what it is at this point, but you know, as Featherine and Badler both said, they don't want the readers to stop thinking. Our goal as the readers is to think as we go and try to come up with things. Even if you don't know what the answer is, the whole process of trying and attempting is in itself an action. Yeah, I'm excited for the new Silent Hill. If Ryukishi's writing it, you know it's gonna be like good. I just really hope that they don't mess it up. I'm very excited to see that. I think that's all I can really say on this matter at this point. But man, I got really emotional every time that music plays and you hear like Shannon and Cannon about to duel, when Cannon disappears, when he locks himself in the closet, when Beatrice reunites with Battler. Like, it's all very emotional. It's all very emotional. Magic is the month of June. Cannon went into the closet straight. He came out in the closet for pride. Yeah. I heard the new Higurashi anime wasn't that great, but I don't really keep track of Higurashi. I've always kind of thought about going back to it, but like Umineko entranced me because the whole like murder mystery, the like Victorian aesthetic, the music really captured me. But you know, everyone knows Higurashi about like the yandere girls, and that's not really my thing. I know there's probably more to the plot. I know I'd probably kind of enjoy it if I read it, but you know. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I might go back and read Higurashi one day on my own. I don't think I'll do it on stream, but it was an interesting point coming and suddenly paying attention without having no context or whatsoever. Yeah, this is a very interesting spot. Yeah, it's very This is episode 6 of 8, so we are quite a bit into it, and unlike other maybe series, each episode is not really meant to be taken as an individual story by itself. They are supposed to go together, so yeah, it's very confusing, but I hope it was able to at least tickle your imagination, maybe give you a little idea of what it is about. It's all about these like logic puzzle solving murder mysteries, and although it looks like there's fantasy layered on top of it, as we're learning now, the fantasy is breaking down and actually there's like a logic and reasoning behind it. A little bit difficult to explain, but I'm glad you can still enjoy it anyways. And thank you to everyone who came by. Thank you everyone popping in, whether you're like been following along with Umineko or you're just enjoying it. Oh, the new Higurashi anime has backstory about Burn Castell and Lambda Delta. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because Higurashi was written first, and then Umineko was written second, and then they created Burn Castell and Lambda Delta, and then related them back to the story of, I can't remember their names, Rika and the other girl. So I guess now they're trying to close the loop, because now that Ryukishi's written a lot more things besides just When They Cry, he's written a bunch of other things, and he loves to sprinkle in references specifically to Lambda, Burn, and Featherine appear in mostly all his works, if not all of them. And then there's other characters that appear similar, like he has another story where there's a guy that looks just like Badler and behaves like him. I mean, Ryukishi said on record that he imagines the characters he creates to be like actors or actresses. It's like casting, you know, Harrison Ford as Han Solo and Indiana Jones. He's casting the same person as Rika and Burn Castell, for example. Like, that's how he sees his characters. So it's kind of interesting to kind of see. But yeah, if you're interested too, you know, all my previous Umineko VODs are up on YouTube. I'm uploading episode 6 this week, so you can, at your leisure, maybe listen to it like an audiobook, or maybe get the game for yourself and read through it. It's faster if you read it for yourself, because obviously you can read faster than someone reading. There is no English dub, unfortunately. There is a Japanese dub official that is from the PS4, PS3 version, and Switch version of the game that some people have modded into it, which you could also get. But, I mean, unless you know Japanese really well, there's a lot of little language things to get around there with a very specific language that they use to describe things, but yeah. It was a streak of morbid curiosity into morbid interest as scenes played out on your second computer. I think it's very interesting the way they play out their scenes. Like, there's not that many CGs, but like even just the way they pan the characters back and forth, the characters like fade in and out, they butterfly away, they like flash the screen. They do a good job of like painting these scenes in your head even though that you're not watching it. I could definitely see they would have a lot of trouble if they want to make an Umineko anime for season 2. If they tried to cover episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8, it would just be so hard to animate. You would need a big budget and a real good imagination to kind of figure out how to do it. I mean, the manga kind of started to do it too, but the manga still has the advantage of still being a static image written form, but I digress. I'm really glad more people are getting more interested in Umineko, or at the very least, slightly intrigued by it, I guess I could say. Because again, this series is very interesting to me. I actually really like it. I think the only problem is it is very long. If there was a way that they can condense it. But part of the reason why it's so good is also because it's long. So, you know, technically we're finished episode 6, but there is still the tea party and the question mark, question mark, question mark. If you're new here, that means at the end of every episode there's an epilogue. And the epilogue leads into the next episode, which would be episode 7 for us. I say epilogue and make it sound like it's optional, but you actually need to go through the epilogue to unlock the next episode anyways. I feel burnt out today with my voice, so I don't think I'll be able to read the epilogue today for you. So we're gonna do that on Wednesday, which is my next stream. The tea party for this episode is actually not that long. I think it's under an hour, so it'll be a short stream on Wednesday. But I can't do it now. But if you want, looking forward to that, or the VODs will be up as well. Thank you so much. Let's decide who we're going to raid. Bunch of people online. Who have we not raided in a while? Let's raid Ram. Ram's a great streamer. He's also a great artist. He draws all his own assets and stuff. He is playing Pikmin right now, and he hasn't streamed in a while, so let's give him a nice welcome back. So stick around for the raid, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the epilogue of Umineko Episode 6. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Take care. Have a great night.